up Montgomery because we don't feel he's a playoff caliber pitcher.
And
Wah, 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 wah.
and you know who the closer of the Rangers is?
Who's that?
Ex-Yankee.
Is it
Oh,
the
yeah.
flamethrower? Chapman?
You're right, Jeff.
Aroldis Chapman.
Well,
yeah.
is he the closer? They had a different closer. Is he the setup guy?
He's the setup and closer, though.
Oh, okay. Well, they're using him, interchanging him there?
I just don't understand what is going on in that front office in the Bronx. I just don't understand it. And if the old man was still alive, I think Cashman would have probably been gone a long time ago.
Well, it's funny because you're baffled by that, and I'm just confused. If you don't understand what's going on there, I mean, imagine being a Mets fan.
Well, it's not even like they're making bad decisions in the Mets organization. I don't think that Showalter was a terrible choice of a manager.
I agree.
I don't necessarily blame him, and you don't always have the worst players either. On paper, you've got consistently a good team, but
I'm going to say one thing, and I'm going to get off the point. I know we're going to move on. But the man that I really would love to see as the next manager of the New York Yankees is the bench coach in Toronto right now, ex-Marlin and Dodgers. I love Don Manley.
Yeah, Donnie Baseball.
I would love Donnie Baseball. I would love to have him
back in New York.
Back to New York as the next Yankees manager.
The next X.
The next.
Oh no! Come on.
Manager.
No, Smitty, that's funny. That's good.
No, there you go.
Yankees manager.
Hey, we'd probably take him as a Mets, Oh, here we go again. We got more. I'm looking at the television here. We got more on Kelsey and Swift.
It's actually brilliant from a marketing standpoint for Taylor Swift, but, oh, man.
I didn't read the article, but I read the headline. Dave Portnoy is annoyed. He says they're simping.
What's that?
The NFL is simping. I'll have to look it up. I'll have to get the exact definition. Is my phone over there?
I don't see it. You may have forgotten it.
No, I have it.
Simping.
Somewhere. Here it is. Yeah, check out simping.
Okay, simping is just one of the dating trends that exist with many others and was created primarily by Gen Z culture. A simp or simping refers to when someone obsesses over someone else who does not return their affection.
Yeah, so whatever. I mean, somebody made the point as well. I don't know. You got
somebody got a fan running in there.
Somebody made the point as well that they it wasn't McKinnon, Pacheco, when he scored the touchdown, he started doing a dance and they cut away from that to show Taylor Swift. I mean, it's ridiculous.
She's not on the team, she's not playing on the field, and come on, no.
I know, it's ridiculous.
The tickets at stadiums probably are going up when she's reportedly at the game.
Which they've priced at regular fans out of games anyway. I mean, football especially.
I know. We were looking at Bills last night. My girlfriend and her parents and I were looking at tickets to go see a Bills game, and they're up there. Of course, the Bills are playing very well. I think the tickets for the Thursday night game against Tampa Bay were starting at $190.
Really?
Yeah. And that's
a ticket
aftermarket. So those games are probably sold out, and so now it's
the
the secondary
you
market.
Expect you're going to pay a lot. Yeah, definitely.
Just call the Packers. You're 1% owner of them.
I
Hey,
know.
can I get some NFL tickets?
I know. Come on, help me out here.
Well, you're not 1%. You're like 1/10%, right?
A 100th%.
Yeah.
I do have a share. So
I know.
When sports fans say we played bad, or and everyone's like, "Oh, why you don't play for the team?" Well, listen, I own the team. I own a portion of the team. So
there you go.
I can say we. Okay.
Speaking of we, and I guess we'll go on with a couple more football things here. I know we're
before
going to
everybody
get the hate
gets irritated.
Email. But there's a bunch of things we're going to get into, though. Today's going to be another great show. What's the sports story you had about the Giants?
Oh, yeah. So this is the offensive lineman who welcomes the
Evan
booing
Neal.
from fans. Yeah.
Well, I mean, guess what? Guess what?
Yeah.
If the shoe fits, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, you're seeing that more and more, especially you talk about ticket prices. I think that has a lot to do with it. We saw, and it could have been too, because there was a big story that came out, the Green Bay Packers-Lions game on Thursday Night Football last week.
Yeah. Well, this is a good game. Sorry you lost. But.
No, I mean, listen, if we played at all in the first half like we played in the second half, it might have been closer. But Lambeau Field was filled with Lions fans. If you saw photos, people had, shown photos of, the stadium after the fact, and it was filled with Lions fans. And I think a lot of it was Packers season ticket holders were selling tickets, and then Lions fans kind of bought them up. But there was a lot of booing after the first half. And I don't know if that was the Lions fans that were there or the Green Bay Packers fans that were there, but either way, it's kind of justified. When tickets are going for what I said, 190, and your team's, you're not used to your team losing like that, it's humbling.
So, and what did Neil say again? Because I made this point. Somebody just asked me recently, I don't know, week 1, week 2, when was the last time you went to a Giants game? Do you go to Giants games anymore? And I'll tell you what my answer was, but go ahead.
Right tackle Evan Neal said during an interview with NJ Advanced Media Wednesday that fans who booed them during Monday night's loss to the Seattle Seahawks should boo louder.
Yeah.
At halftime, he reacted to the boos from At halftime, he reacted to the boos from the home fans by gesturing sarcastically for them to bring more of the verbal discontent.
Yeah. Well, look, I haven't been to a Giants game in several years, and I'll tell you why. First of all, the Giants as a franchise, I hate to say this, have become the Cleveland Browns. Yeah. I mean, I know last year they made the playoffs miraculously. I don't even know how we won that many games with Daniel Jones at quarterback. That's why I like our head coach, because I think he made something out of nothing. But, I mean,
he is a good head coach.
Look at the previous decade. We win like 3 or 4 games every year. It's like we're the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Browns are a good team now. I know it's kind of ironic to say that. But we've, like, really, the Giants, I'm doing the we thing, have become the bottom of the barrel. Now, Buffalo tickets, I'm shocked to hear that they're going for almost $200 a pop. I know they're good and everything, and they're building a new stadium. But this was going on.
We're building a new stadium, as in the New York State taxpayer.
Yeah, is that what I said?
You said we, but yeah.
Well, we are.
Oh, we are, yeah.
So, yeah, that one I can stake a claim to. It's my stadium, buddy.
Exactly.
So, this was even before I thought the Bills prices got jacked, because after the last time I went to a Giants game, I had been to a couple of Bills games, and I want to say I paid like ballpark, $110, $120 a ticket for, not a terrible seat. I wasn't in the nosebleeds, but I wasn't anywhere near in the lower section. I think the last time I went, we paid like $250 a ticket, plus you got to pay for gas and tolls down there. There's one bridge I think we paid, $25. Then you pay $25 to park to go watch the team get blown out by 3 touchdowns. We're losing by 3 touchdowns.
No, you want to leave by halftime. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm not paying money to go do that. And, if you want to be a season ticket holder in New York, I don't know if Buffalo does this, but they have the whole personal seating license. You pay anywhere from $8 to $30,000 just for the right to purchase season tickets.
Yeah,
that doesn't cover
crazy.
Anything.
And
I'm sorry.
You're on a waiting list too.
If you're a family of 4, how you can take your family? That's $1,000 for tickets before you spend a dime on food. Then you're probably
which is expensive.
I mean, $80, for gas and tolls. If you're going to pay $1,000 for tickets, I'm sure the $80 for gas and tolls isn't scaring you off. It's outrageous. And this was a couple years ago when I went. I mean, it's got to be $400 a ticket now.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been.
How do you justify that? You could almost go on a vacation.
Yeah.
For that kind of money.
You definitely could. You could go on like a cruise for that amount of money. And, I was offered up the opportunity. I think I may take it. My cousin has season tickets for the Giants. And when the Packers come to town, I may take his tickets. But I don't know.
You better sell a couple more houses before then.
Yeah, the first half, maybe the Giants will play well. But then, I don't know. I've got hope for Green Bay in that, Jordan Love is young. He's inexperienced, but it's a young team overall. And one thing I notice about him is he doesn't get this flustered look. He's just very poised. Like, he gets sacked, and he just kind of gets up and is like, well, okay, let's just move on. I mean, to come back from that Saints aren't a great team, but you come down from 17-0 at halftime and win 18-17.
Yeah,
and they kind of made a little bit of run against the Lions, who, again, you talk about teams like the Browns who were terrible historically.
Yeah.
The Lions are scary this year.
Richard was making that point. I'm still not all in there on the Lions, though.
Hopefully they'll choke, but they're always they've been the bane of our existence. We own the Bears. You know how the whole thing was Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, and actually after we won against the Bears week 1, there was a meme going around where it was like a bill of sale from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. That he owns the Bears now, but the Lions have had our number the last few games. So when it's talking about playoff possibilities, that could be a real cog in the wheel.
So I was just making the point on it just totally priced people out.
But a lot of that you can circle back to inflation.
No, this has been going on for a while.
Yeah, but
this
I think
has been going on for a while.
It makes it harder. It makes it harder for people. I guess what I'm saying is it makes it harder for those families, the people who would ordinarily maybe say, yeah, we can justify it. We can, find the funds to go to see a game. They can't do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very difficult thing. So anyway, I hope the Bills make it all the way this year.
That's what I tell people. I'm a Packers fan, but I'm going to support the Bills. They are the only New York team.
Oh, you're going to start that again. Bill had actually a great point about this. The
Dolphins don't play in Miami.
Correct.
Right? Who else?
Is it the Chargers? I think the Chargers don't play in San Diego. They're 40 minutes from San Diego.
Well, they're the L.A. Chargers now.
Well, wherever they claim their home is, it's 40 minutes away. There's multiple teams. There are multiple teams that name a city as their city, and they're actually
it is just a different state is the only differential there, right?
All right. That's enough.
All right, let's get off sports before we get hate mail.
Well, and there's a couple of other things. I mentioned the story, and I'll just retell it again because you'll appreciate it. Although I'm struggling right now to remember what the details was. There was a story about my son. What was the joke? Oh, it was such a great story. He's hilarious. I'm telling you, the stuff.
How old is he now?
He'll be 8 in about a month.
That makes me feel old.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's the greatest thing, man. Oh, gosh. He's just so funny. I'll think of whatever the story was.
Are you going to get him into football? There's a lot of people that say, I don't know want my kid playing football. And if he shows interest, will you?
Yeah, he actually had kind of said that he was interested in playing football. I'll tell you.
He's tall. He could be like a tight end or something. You think?
Well, he's tall, but again, at this level, there's not a ton of bone jarring tackles. It's kind of like a flag football where they push each other down a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's into soccer, basketball, and baseball. And really, he'll do anything. If there's a group of kids that want to play a game, he'll do whatever. But he had said that he wanted to play football this year, and I guess he might have changed his mind. Although a funny thing, football is a big deal in Whitesboro. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very big deal. And he was telling Mama and I about a kid in his class, and I don't want to get into the whole thing, but he goes, well, everybody likes him. He's really everyone thinks he's really cool. He plays football. and that was, we continued to talk to him, and essentially, the only reason he and the whole class thought the kid was super cool was because he played football. So obviously, it's a big deal out there in Whitesboro.
Yeah, nobody ever said, "Yeah, that Andrew, he's really cool. He runs cross country." Which is a fall sport, by the way.
We'll be joined by Tanya J. Powers coming up here in just a second. I want to get into this one element of the, not with Tanya, but I want to talk to you and Joe about this, because I cannot understand how this happened the other day with the abduction. The guy who left the ransom note.
Who was the kidnapper?
Was somehow got onto the porch and was able to leave this note in a mailbox. But I thought the house, and they've said the house, was being guarded by state police.
So that's the interesting thing. Didn't somebody say maybe, and I don't know if this is true now, but maybe is this guy who was the alleged abductor, was he a member of the Postal Service?
All right, so
and maybe that's why nobody had any suspicion about it?
Possibly. I don't think so. That person came at 4:15 in the morning. So I don't know. We'll get into it in a second. We've got Fox's Tanya J. Powers on the line with us right now, and she's talking about FEMA and the FCC and that nationwide test yesterday. Tanya, Andrew's back.
I hear that. Y'all got that getting the band back together this morning.
That's right.
How are you, Tanya?
I'm good. Yes, the tests were done yesterday. Did y'all get them on your phones, on your cell phones?
I got it on my phone, my Apple Watch, everything. And the scary part was my girlfriend and I were decorating for Halloween, so there was an added level of eerie. and they came a couple minutes early, so I was really scared.
Yeah, did you?
Okay, I'm not okay. I did the same thing. I mean, I knew it was coming. I'd been reading up on it. I did a story on it, and still at 2 minutes early, I was like taken aback because I was like, wait, it's. I thought it was supposed to be 20, but it was 18. You're right. I think that's what everybody keeps talking about today is the fact that it was early.
So, is it true that if they had done it at 20, it really would have been a zombie apocalypse?
I mean.
That's why they went early.
I can neither confirm nor deny these rumors. I have no proof. No.
So what's the looking back at this? Is the FCC and FEMA, are they saying they're happy this went as planned and we're going to use this going forward?
I mean, it is something that and I got another question kind of to that extent earlier this morning when I was talking to a different station. And they wanted to know, they said, wait a minute, why are we doing this now? And thought this was a little suspicious as to be testing this now. Like, was there something to read into this? Like, was there more to it? And let me explain that. The test is mandated to be done every 3 years. So that is why, if you remember this happening like a few years back, this is why.
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah, this is why they have to do it every 3 years. So this was their turn to do it again. There were two tests simultaneously. With the two different systems were tested simultaneously. The wireless emergency alert system, which is the ones that went to the cell phones, like you mentioned, your Apple Watch, your cell phone, whatever device you had there, and the emergency alert system, which is sent to TVs and radios. Those people are probably used to because, those have been done forever.
Yeah, we do them every week. Yep, we do them every week.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, and the wireless ones, that's the kind of the newer one. Did you know that under federal law, that tone, what the sound I'm talking about, the sound.
That was good.
What's that again, Tanya? How's it sound?
No, look, I worked all morning to get the right note, and I can't do it very often, but
no, you hit it right on the head.
It can only be used for actual emergencies or authorized tests. You can't use it for anything else.
Wow.
Under federal law.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's how much they protect that sound, because it's the sound everybody knows of. Oh, okay, something. Usually we know it's a test, but if you heard it and it said it was not a test, that's how you would know you're supposed to pay attention. But they did test both of these systems at once.
One of the things that fascinates me, and maybe it's society today with, and I don't have a TikTok or anything like that, but people are so obsessed. My girlfriend was on TikTok last night, and like the sound kept going off because people made a big, huge freaking deal about it, and it became all these memes. I'm like, doesn't anybody else have anything else to do? It's like they were obsessed with it yesterday. I don't know. Yeah. Just crazy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, at least we know it happened. Nobody ignored it. You can't ignore that sound, though. I mean, it's gonna get your attention.
My only question is this, and I know this was a nationwide alert system, right? I don't understand why we had an abduction on Saturday in New York State, and I never got one of those screaming loud notifications on my phone.
Because they do those for Amber Alerts.
They usually do. Yeah. Why didn't I get one of those? And I know that's state, not national, but I didn't know if that's come up in your reporting so far today.
I mean, Amber Alerts are one of the reasons they can do those. It's not used only for a national alert. It can be, if something apocalyptic is going on and they need to get everybody's. And by the way, the system can also be activated to send alerts from the U.S. president. It's not just FEMA. So, but yeah, they can use them nationally, as we saw during the test. But they're meant to be used to send notifications about emergencies like severe weather or Amber Alerts. If you've ever, side note, if you've ever been in a large group of people, like in a stadium or an arena or at an airport terminal, and an Amber Alert for that area goes off, it is this wave of that noise. It is one of the most bizarre things to witness if you just kind of happen to be in that space. But you're right. This is something that is usually used for that, to send alerts. I don't know if they always use the tone for Amber Alerts or if they just send the message. But it's interesting that y'all didn't get an Amber Alert. Did you get an alert on your wireless devices at all?
I did not.
No,
I did not, and it was only
Wow.
Albany's
only an
give
hour
or
and a
take,
half?
hour and a half away. In the summer,
I guess
we
the
had
person who hits the button must have been on vacation or something. I don't know.
I'm not sure. And we had
Interesting.
2 tornadoes this summer. And, we had
Yeah.
a storm that came through that brought 2 tornadoes to the area. And typically, I know there have been times before when we've been on a tornado watch that I've gotten that screaming.
Yeah, right. Come on,
So-
don't try and do it as
Yeah,
good
I
as
know.
Tanya.
I'm no
okay?
Tanya J. Powers. Tanya, thank you so much. We hope you have
We're
a great
glad
day.
it went off without a hitch, and it was good talking to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good talking to you too. Thanks, y'all.
All right, that's Fox's Tanya J. Powers joining us. Our man Joe Lode in here this morning. Oh, I thought you had an
We need an
polo on.
alert. We need an alert tone. Joe Lowe just came in.
Where's your tinfoil hat? You left it in the truck?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you
It
doing,
didn't
my
freak
man?
you out at all, though, yesterday?
I mean, I was in the middle of, as people know, I like to take a little mid-afternoon nap here. Not here, at home. So,
Well, if the couch is open, you know.
believe it or not, there's not a lot of things that wake me up, but that thing woke me up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, everybody in the whole showroom yesterday, all their alarms were going off, and I was running around because I got sidetracked trying to sell a truck, so I lost track of time. And all of a sudden, it started going off, and I was like, oh, no, I'm screwed.
He started looking around for all the hungry zombies.
I did call you, though. And
You did? Yeah, we chatted a little bit yesterday afternoon right after it happened.
Yeah. I got a lot of backlash yesterday. I just want to tell you from the show.
From just the zombie thing? Or
No.
in general?
No.
What did we do?
A particular, listener decided that I must have been paid by Bill to say all those nice things about Jackie Izzo.
Oh, really?
Swear to
Are
God.
you
I'll let you
serious?
read the whole text message. And then it proceeded to send me photo after photo of businesses that are out of business and empty buildings and things like, like that's all the mayor's fault. If a business goes out of business, maybe it's poor business, right?
Or,
it could be.
it may be,
But
but look at,
There's
that's
a lot of
Wait a
determining
minute.
factors.
I've never heard. Now I'm going to use an analogy. Look, tell the person to text in. Next
Or
time
call
Jackie's
in.
on, I don't have a problem asking her these questions and
Yeah.
having her react to this stuff. The idea, look,
We also spent a good amount of
this is
time
ridiculous.
talking about the businesses that are building there.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
Tallman's took that plaza and totally renovated it.
people,
Yeah, and then-
people
Space.
think
There's
that if
that
you're
little-
a candidate for office and if Bill does commercials, TV commercials for you, you can't get a fair shake on the show is ridiculous. Lance calls in, messages in with questions. I ask almost every single question that he asks. And I want to know the last time that a business closed in Utica and someone said it was Rob Palmieri's fault or
Right.
Tony Pacenti's fault.
Right, it's not. I mean, there's so many different factors, and I told this person, I said, listen, number one, if it's poor business management, then it's going to close too. Or if it's something that just doesn't go in the community, it's going to close. It doesn't mean it's the mayor's fault because there's businesses that are closed. It's
Take a drive down Griffiths Parkway, okay? And see,
well, not
and see
only
what's
that,
going
but
on
go
there.
over by the Capitol Theater where you have the Balanced Chef, and then you have that new little wine kind of bar thing
Yeah.
right there. I can't think of the name.
It's a woman's name. Smitty's
Kettle
got it.
or something.
Franca's.
Franca's.
Yeah, that place is
Franca.
pretty cool. I like that place.
Yeah.
I met a couple there for a wedding. I had to talk to them about their wedding, and I met them there, and boy, I liked it. Nice little place.
I don't understand the
You
idea
can't
that
please
you can't
all
get
the people all the time.
Right,
that
exactly.
You can't get a fair shake on this show. And I'm going to say something else, and I'm not going to be too specific. And this has always been the case, and Andrew can attest to this. If you're on this show, my opinion's my opinion. My questions are my questions. Andrew's opinion was always Andrew's opinion. And, Joe, you're sitting in today. Your opinion and your questions are your questions and your opinion. No one comes down the hall and says, this is off topic. You can't ask this. You can't talk about this.
Yeah.
And I know 100% for a fact that is the case other places.
And the
So,
people that
yeah.
try that don't come on the show anymore.
No.
Whether by their own choice or
Right,
ours.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Like, you're not going to sit in a hot seat and not
it's,
get grilled.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So that was the only thing. The only thing that came out of that episode. I must have got paid by Bill to say all those things. It's
I
like,
mean, look, times are tough.
yeah, Bill's not paying anybody.
But I would consider taking $20 to throw a softball at somebody. And I'll tell you something else, too. We were on, and Lance and Lee called me. We were talking about something else, right? And, Lance, I'm going to get into this just for a second. Lance called me. I believe it was Lance. It always comes up from a blocked number. He doesn't want anybody to know who he is.
Yeah. So his name's not Lance, probably.
I don't think his name is Lance.
No.
I like the alliteration,
so
though.
do
Lance
I.
and Lee.
So we were doing something here, and after the show, I got a call, and I believe it was Lance and Lee, although I don't know. I talked to him previously one time on something else, and he goes, Jeff, it's more than being a mayor is more than about just economic development. He went on this whole thing about, oh, this is good and this is good and the economic development, but you got to do more than that if you're a mayor. Now, I find it ironic, and this person's opinion is welcome on the show. I'm not going to, unless they're saying something outrageous, I'm not going to turn them off. But they're saying that the economic development is actually bad in Rome. That's the point they're making because there's closed businesses?
Yeah, apparently. I don't know. Or that she hasn't done enough, obviously, because there's closed
so
businesses.
Lance and Lee,
that opinion.
Lance and Lee is a Trump guy, right? He's a Republican?
I don't know.
You get that
I
sense?
don't know.
Because the ironic thing is that if you look at a person like Jackie Izzo, who was a business owner, who never really had, I don't think, any aspirations to run for office. She was kind of maybe asked by some people to run. She was a business owner, and a pretty good one at that. And she took, I think she took time away and kind of surrendered her business to run for mayor. And she's running the city as a business.
Sure.
And that's kind of, the people who supported Trump, that was what was the appeal to him, right? Is that he was a business guy. He was going to run the country like a business, as it should have been.
Right.
And she's doing a good job.
Not necessarily as a politician.
Right, exactly.
So, hold on. I hate to hop around, but we got Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio on. We got the latest on what's going on in Washington with the House, and it looks like Congress is on a little bit of a break here. Good morning, Ryan.
You don't
How
say.
are you?
Good morning, y'all.
So what is the latest here? They're on a recess. How long is that going to last? And the other part I can't wrap my brain around, does this mean the Biden inquiry continues or that's paused as well?
I mean, most of what the business of Congress can do is paused right now. There is really not, they really can't pass anything or do anything until they elect a new speaker. We're expecting that to likely happen maybe next Wednesday. But as of right now, they're on recess until they figure that out. And right now, Republicans have been meeting behind closed doors in different ways. They're trying to figure out who the new speaker is, and we're starting to find out who the new speaker candidates are. We've had 2 declared so far. We have another one who's considering it strongly.
Who are they?
All right, so yesterday you had the Texas delegation meeting behind closed doors, and you had Steve Scalise, the majority leader, attend that. He officially declared yesterday, too. You have Jim Jordan from the Judiciary Committee, the chairman there. He declared as well, too. And then you had Kevin Hearn from Oklahoma, who chairs the Republican Study Committee, which is the largest caucus in all of Washington. He also attended, but based off a source, he is currently calling every member of the conference, and then he's going to decide if he's going to run or not.
I think the confusing part to me and somewhat frustrating part for me, if you look at it from a Republican standpoint, is both Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise, when the decision was being made, had zero interest, absolutely no interest in putting their hat in the ring for Speaker when they took over the House. And now they're all like fighting over it. Like, do you know what you could have saved everybody, all the headache and the chaos and the turmoil if you had just taken the job initially?
In the beginning. And is Scalise in good health?
He's battling blood cancer.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Things were concerned. Yes, no, absolutely, yes. And Steve Scalise's health was a big question mark going into this, but it looks like it's going to be okay. But the reality is, yes, of course they could have jumped in earlier, but the reality is, too, is that, they wanted Speaker McCarthy to be the Speaker.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of it. This has happened multiple times with Nancy Pelosi, where you had a lot of people who wanted somebody different or they campaigned on refusing to vote for Nancy Pelosi. And then, when they realized they didn't have the votes to oust her, they just voted present or they voted for her and just accepted defeat. That's going to be the big question mark with this one is, well, if, there is a clear front runner or a clear winner who has the majority of votes, will everybody else just fall in line and allow that person to get elected speaker, or are they going to rebel again? That's the big question mark.
Well, do you think that rule will be changed so that we don't have the same ability, or they don't have the same ability to get rid of the speaker so easily?
Well, whether or not it will be changed, that's a question mark. But is there a push to change it? There absolutely is. There are multiple Republicans who want to see that rule at least adjusted to make it harder to do so. And some of the candidates who are running have been pressed about this and asked if that's something that they're going to campaign. Kevin Byrne was one who was asked about it yesterday. He said that he's not going to campaign on changing, or at least it's not going to be a part of his platform. But if the majority of the conference supports it, he'll consider it. And the funny thing is, too, Leader McConnell came out yesterday at his weekly press conference and said that if he had any advice to give to the next Speaker of the House, it would be to get rid of the motion to vacate.
Yeah.
Well, Fox's Ryan Schmelz, we appreciate your time as always. I know we're up against the top of the hour here, and you've got to run. Thank you. We'll probably speak to you again tomorrow.
Let's hope so. Have a good one.
Take care. Ryan Schmelz from Fox News.
What Ryan didn't say was right before McConnell said that, there was a 45-second pause.
We've got some comments already coming in here this morning. We can talk about the Izzo thing if you want again. I've actually got some comments on that as well. Some guy in the 540 who often comments on our YouTube feed, he is weighing in here this morning. He says, Andrew needs to come back permanently or at least start a Twitch channel. Someone said they saw him.
Twitch? I don't know what that is.
Twitch is like it's almost you just live stream everything.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Let's see here. Izzo and friend. This is some guy in the 540. Izzo and friend are friend of the program. Yeah, whatever. Again, were we unfair to the Jeff Lanigan guy when he came in?
No, I don't.
And there on his website, and I went there. On his website, he was upset. There was a rumor going around about his situation with how he left the police department, and it was the whole circumstances under which he retired. Was it disability or was it not disability? And he got to address that right here on the show, and nobody cut him off or stopped him from saying it. And we said, "There's something out there that people are saying about you. I know you want to address it," and he got to address it. And it's ridiculous that it's not fair. Again, we have opinions on this show, and we push back sometimes. But to anybody to say that we weren't fair to anybody who's been on this show, I think is ridiculous. The only one who could maybe make that claim is Mike Hennessy. I'm kidding. No, but Mike Hennessy and Jim Zeck are welcome on the show.
There were times yesterday with both interviews with Izzo and Friend where there was some uncomfortability, and some pushback. You pushed back on Celeste with regards to her comment about the Texas governor. And also with Izzo, there were some questions that you asked from Lance that, were not always comfortable questions with regard to her relationship with the council.
And to Pacenti, I mean, I throw those questions at Pacenti when he comes in. When he asked Jackie questions, I ask those questions to Jackie.
Yeah.
All right, here's Steve in Rome says, I just wanted to weigh in on all the sports talk this morning. While I'm not a big fan of football or baseball, I'd much rather listen to y'all talk than listen to Celeste Friend's self-righteous rhetoric. So thank you for that. Now, look, I'll tell you, I thought Celeste was great yesterday. I thought her comment about the Republican drowning thing, right? I thought that was like...
Yeah, out of left field.
Yeah.
Literally.
But in fairness, her point was, and this was the point she was making, I don't paint all Republicans with what one does.
Brush, yeah.
So I don't think it's fair to paint me with the defund police stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a fair point. But I thought she was good, and I think a lot of her answers throughout this have surprised me. She does not come across to me at all as the progressive left-wing person that people have said. Is she a Democrat? Yeah, absolutely she is. But I think she's come across very well.
I will say this, speaking to her yesterday especially, whether you support her or not, you could tell that she does have a passion for the city and at least has some, some desire to make it better. That's all.
Then let her head up the Parks and Recreation or something.
Oh, Joe. Well, that's Joe's opinion, and he's allowed to have it.
Yeah, right.
And I don't live in the city of Utica, so she's lucky. She doesn't have
well, then you don't have an
her.
opinion, then.
Right.
I got to cut you off. I'm just kidding. WIBX 950 Utica Rome at 7 o'clock. We'll continue this on the other side.
He's going to restart what he stopped. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Biden administration is fast-tracking the building of border wall in Texas, 17 miles of it in Starr County, waiving 26 federal laws to get it done, including the Clean Air and Clean Drinking Water Acts. The head of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, cites an acute and immediate need to stop illegal border crossings after a new record surge of migrants last month. Fox's Brooke Singman has reaction.
I spoke exclusively with former President Trump last night, who said Biden sees our country as being invaded. He has to reinstate Remain in Mexico and Title 42. He has to do all of the other things that we were doing. Now, this move is a complete 180 from what Biden said on the campaign trail when he vowed to completely overhaul Trump's border policies.
Today, President Biden will meet with his national security team focused on Ukraine as he pushes Congress to approve billions of dollars more in military aid to help fend off Russia's invasion. But Republican Senator J.D. Vance tells Fox
Congress is not going to give a blank check to Ukraine funding, and they're not going to give a blank check to the Biden administration.
the House remains in recess, considering who will be the next speaker, after Kevin McCarthy was ousted by Democrats, joined by 8 Republicans, including Congressman Matt Rosendale, who tells Fox.
Oh, I feel redeemed now that immediately thereafter that we had several of the members that were standing up saying that they were interested in running for speaker because they were, for fear of retribution, were not able to do that back in January.
Congressman Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise say they will run for the speakership. Others say they're considering it.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. This is the second of a 3-day strike for about 75,000 healthcare workers at Kaiser Permanente facilities.
We're trying to fix the short staffing crisis that we have here.
She's in California, also demanding higher pay. There are also walkouts in 5 other states and Washington, D.C. I'm sorry to report you failed. I did too. None of us won the Powerball jackpot again, so the prize grows to $1.4 billion. America's listening to Fox News.
Bring smiles to all when shopping online with Dell Technologies Gift Guide. Whether it's for the artist, the entrepreneur, the student, or the streamer, you'll find the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Dell.com/gift guide makes gifting easy with a carefully curated selection of our best tech. Shop now to explore our innovative PCs like the XPS 13 laptop, powered by the latest Intel Core processors, plus this season's top accessories. Visit Dell.com/gift guide today to get a jump on your holiday gift list. That's Dell.com/gift guide.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money printing. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. Text the word PROTECT to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
All right, we have mostly clear skies, 59 degrees, and it is foggy out there. You guys see all the sweat on the outside of the cars?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
There's fog everywhere. I couldn't see. And I drove the old Buick today. You know how hard it is to see out them windows?
I thought that was yours. That's sharp.
Yeah. Oh, you went out there, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You had to have one.
I had to check the weather.
Yeah, okay.
How do I know the forecast? The blinds are closed in here. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. Well, some good news. State law typically prohibits establishments from serving alcohol prior to 10 a.m. on Sundays, but Governor Kathy Hochul says for a small fee, bars and restaurants in the Mohawk Valley and across New York State can serve alcohol earlier than normal for this Sunday's Buffalo Bills game. Of course, they are across the pond playing the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. It's a 9:30 kickoff. You will need to apply. Establishments will need to apply for a one-time waiver. It costs $35 from the State Liquor Authority. And the deadline for businesses to apply is Friday. Checks must be received by 3 p.m., but it would allow them to begin serving alcohol this Sunday only at 8 a.m. You will also need approval from your local municipality because there's a 30-day waiver of a notification. Full details on that and the links, if you're an establishment, you could find those right on our website or on the WIBX 950 mobile app. The story we're going to talk about more in just a second. Still some unanswered questions, but Moreau Lake State Park is closed off to visitors as the investigation into the kidnapping of 9-year-old Charlotte Cena continues. Of course, the girl was abducted last Saturday while she was riding her bicycle. After an intense search, she was found safe at an address in Milton on Monday. 46-year-old Craig Ross Jr. remains in custody without bail after being arraigned on a felony charge. No word yet on when that park that state park might reopen. The search is underway for 2 suspects who allegedly stole over $100,000 from video teller machines across central New York. VTMs in Onondaga, Tompkins, and Cortland counties were targeted for unauthorized withdrawals on September 9th and 10th. VTMs are similar to ATMs, but the primary difference is that people can use them to talk to bank employees remotely. Tips can be submitted to New York State Police. If you're a fan of Wegmans and planned on getting a COVID-19 booster shot there, customers are being told that it's going to be a delay. They're going to have to wait a while if they'd like to get their shot at Wegmans. The supermarket chain says right now the availability of that vaccine is inconsistent. That's because there's been shipping challenges with the vaccine, and demand is also high. Wegmans promises it's going to work closely with suppliers to get additional doses as soon as possible. NASCAR announcing when the stars of the NASCAR Cup Series will be taking the track at Watkins Glen next year. There was a call for it to be moved later into the season, into the playoffs, and that's what NASCAR's doing. The 2024 Go Bowling at the Glen is scheduled for September 15th. It's typically held in August, but next year will be part of the round of 16 in the Cup Series playoffs for the first time. More information on that at theglen.com. And no winner in the Powerball last night, so now it's up to $1.4 billion. What?
Well, I'm just saying it'll get up to about $2 billion, and California will get it.
Yeah, exactly. Some other millionaire already.
There was a $2 million winner in New York, though. It was in Newburgh.
Oh, really? $2 million? Why? They got so many numbers correct? Is that how it works?
I believe so. Maybe 4 numbers in a Powerball. I'll look it up.
The odds. The odds are they're. You can't even fathom the odds.
How about that?
Trying to win that. And if you do quick picks, you'll never win. I'm just going to say that. In my opinion,
most winners are quick picks.
No, I don't think so. These are people that have a stash of tickets in their purse that play the same numbers every day, every time they go to the thing. I've seen people. They have little envelopes. They pull them out. They bring them to the machine, and they do the same numbers every time religiously.
Those lotto people.
I'm just trying to get. Because think about it. The number that is drawn is a quick pick number, basically. They pick it. It's quick picked.
Yeah. You talk about the winner?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You should quick pick if you play.
No, because the winning number is quick picked. What's the odds of that winning number being quick picked again? Very, very, even more insurmountable.
Oh, he's saying the randomization.
The randomization of drawing that first initial number, the odds of having that number pulled again are so infinite, it's not even funny.
I'm kind of
irritated. Stick to the same numbers.
The guy at the Oneida gas station, I was in Oneida the other day, he had it taped up, and good thing I didn't fall for it. He's like, hey, that's the winning ticket. I'm going to sell it to you. And I almost fell for it.
You did?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
So
you know what I don't like is get out of line. Go buy your tickets.
I was just gonna say,
go buy your tickets
in a machine.
Right, not before I have to get to work and I just got to get a cup of coffee.
I'll take 4 6s, 2 21s, 31, 35.
Yeah, the scratch crack people. Yeah, I know.
You know how
Can you check if these are a winner?
You can't check at like 2:30 in the afternoon when everybody's working.
You said these people, and I was going to say it's easy to spot them because if there's ever a long line at a convenience store, those people are usually standing at the front of the line.
Or out in front in their car meticulously scratching. I mean, their car is covered with that little silver stuff.
It's an addiction, man. It's an addiction.
Cardboard crack, as they call it.
It's 7:09. Can we get a forecast here?
Sure.
This is from, of course, Eyewitness News. Here's what we can expect later today.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, breezy. Still warm, sunshine over to afternoon clouds, a high of 85. Tonight, clouds increase, still mild for October, a low of 62. Friday, breezy, not quite as warm, partly sunny in the morning. Then more clouds with showers or a period of light rain developing mainly in the afternoon, a high of 72. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Well, the Brooms were out in the major leagues last night as the Diamondbacks, Twins, Phillies, and Rangers all swept their best-of-3 playoff series to advance to the divisional round, which begins on Saturday. The Rangers beat the Rays 7-1. Twins took care of business with a 2-0 shutout over the Blue Jays. The Brewers were defeated 5-2 by the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Phillies destroyed the Marlins 7-1. Again, the divisional round will start on Saturday. The NFL could be punishing Jamal Adams for his actions toward an independent concussion doctor during Monday Night Football. The Seattle Seahawks safety was seen yelling at the unaffiliated neurotrauma consultant after he took a knee to his helmet and exited the game in the first quarter. Adams was quickly ruled out and later diagnosed with a concussion. The 27-year-old took to social media Wednesday and apologized to the doctor for his actions. Adams said that prioritizing players' health is essential. One member of the Giants' offensive line is taking aim at his critics. Right tackle Evan Neal said during an interview with NJ Advanced Media Wednesday, the fans who booed them during Monday night's loss to the Seahawks should boo louder. At halftime, he reacted to the boos from the home fans by gesturing sarcastically for them to bring more of the verbal discontent. According to Pro Football Focus, Neal has allowed 20 total pressures this season and has a pass block win rate of 84.8%. The Giants are last in the NFC East at 1-3.
I don't even know what that rate means, that 84% rate. I don't know if that's good, bad. I would imagine it's bad. If he's on the Giants' offensive line, I'm sure it's bad. I mean, that team is single-handedly, I said this before, sending defensive players to Canton, Ohio. They are getting them the golden jackets, sending them to the Hall of Fame. Look, I don't like Daniel Jones, but I will say you got to protect him, and we need better wide receivers than we have if you expect anything out of that team. So, you want to add something there, Joe?
No, because I don't like them either.
So we got some quick comments from Michael.
Yeah, let's do it.
Michael says, got an Amber Alert at a Comets game. Pretty wild to hear all the phones going off at the auditorium.
Yeah.
The reason we didn't get an Amber Alert for the child abduction was it took place outside our region. That's what Michael's claiming.
Okay.
Also adding, listening to Joe Lode's theory about quick picks, I think the governor's lessening of early hours of drinking for Sunday must have taken place even earlier.
I was a little lost in that theory. It is 7:12. Talking about the abduction again, I want to get your take on this. There's a part of this story that makes no sense to me, and I've kind of gone over it in my mind, and I actually talked to a former member of law enforcement about it. He was baffled by it as well. I'll get your thoughts on it. I'd like to know what everybody thinks. You can weigh in via the WIBX 950 app. If you're watching us on YouTube, good morning, and you can chime in there also, or you can give us a call at 315-736-0186. We are lucky that this young girl was found alive, and I think there was a major mistake that was made, and I don't know. I've never been trained by law enforcement. Maybe this was intentional, but I can't imagine that it was. It's 7:13. We'll talk about that next. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information for young families. If you have young children, you face unique challenges that must be addressed when considering your estate planning. Well, they, of course, have issues related to who will take care of and raise their children when they die. In addition, they have to have concerns about how the assets are maintained and managed after their death. They need to utilize trusts, and of course, they need to have life insurance to protect their children for future costs. Blended families face unique circumstances and legal issues that must be considered with their estate planning. How do we make sure that all of the children from both families receive some sort of inheritance? Oftentimes we'll use very special techniques in our wills, or we'll use IRAs or life insurance to make sure they receive an inheritance. They are all very special challenges. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
I'm Anthony Pacenti. As county executive, I tackled tough issues. I acted to make our schools safer for our children. I immediately stopped the immoral attempt to bus illegal migrants into Oneida County. I continue to work every day to combat the scourge of the opiate epidemic in our community. I will continue to tackle tough issues head on, and I won't let bad decisions in Albany stop us. And I ask for your vote on November 7th.
Leadership and a vision for the future is how Oneida County is moving forward. Oneida County Executive Tony Pacenti.
We've made significant investments in healthcare and public safety, created new opportunities in tourism and youth sports, and invested big in high-tech, state-of-the-art research, resulting in high-quality jobs right here at home.
Oneida County is working, growing, and moving forward. On November 7th, let's keep it that way. Re-elect Tony Pacenti, Oneida County Executive.
Paid for by friends of Tony Pacenti.
Life happens, and at Mohawk Valley FCU, we are here to help you through life's ups and downs. It's not always easy. Life isn't perfect. That's why Mohawk Valley FCU goes above and beyond for their members with higher interest accounts, superior service, easy loan approvals, and so much more. With locations on River Road in Marcy, in the State Office Building in Utica, and with mobile banking, you'll receive the best service no matter where you are. Mohawk Valley FCU now welcomes all Town of New Hartford employees. Member-focused, member-driven. Visit MohawkValleyFCU.org.
Home and Hospital Medical Supply in the New Hartford Shopping Center proudly carries a wide selection of home medical equipment. Lift chairs to buy or rent, canes, crutches, walkers, powered scooters, braces, foot care products, and so much more. And if for some reason they don't carry the product you need, they'll custom order it at no extra charge. Mary and her experienced team are there to assist you Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or call them 315-724-6767 and online at HNHMedicalNY.com. Home and Hospital Medical Supplies, we make life easier.
Stop into Mattress Express in New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies. Plus, simply do a comfort test on our mattresses and get a $25 prepaid Visa card. Names like the Number Bed by Instant Comfort, Tempur-Pedic, Purple, Sealy, and more. Hurry, this is a limited time offer.
Attention business owners, this is John Souza, CEO of ERTC.com. The Employee Retention Tax Credit Program provides up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. If you're confused about the program, stop right now before it's too late. Don't fall for false promises and risk your business. All ERTC companies are not the same. The bottom line, there's no such thing as guaranteed eligibility, and being innovative with tax filings can lead to an audit. At ERTC.com, we won't mislead you to attest to your own eligibility. At ERTC.com, everything is done in-house by expert CPAs, and there's no cost to get started. With the ERTC.com Fast Track Refund Program, you may qualify to get your refund in as soon as 48 hours. Get started today at ERTC.com.
Get your free refund information now. 800-200-3009. 800-200-3009. That's 800-200-3009.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, back here, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. Bill will be back soon. All right, so I wanted to talk about this story here, and it's in regard to the abduction story. And there's an element here that I just don't quite understand. I forwarded you because the New York Post actually picked up on this as well. And
yeah, I can't get over what you just sent me.
Okay, so real quick, here's some comments on the app. Joe's point about the winning number being less likely to be a winning number, again, is incorrect. Although it seems like common sense, statistically, any randomly generated number has an equal chance of showing up again. Actually, he's right. He's correct.
That's not Common Core math.
Show your answer.
The odds of all the numbers actually are exactly the same. I know it would be really, I would say, an anomaly. It would be amazing if the same numbers came up again.
Why do you think? Well, no, I can't say that either. But I still say if you have your own numbers and you've been playing them the same numbers all the time, you have a better shot.
My late grandfather had like boxes and boxes and boxes of old lottery numbers, and he was convinced that he would have been able to eventually pick them just by reviewing all the old numbers.
Wow.
You know,
I remember.
I
remember.
Well, there are
secret.
professional lottery players. There's a couple of folks in maybe Ohio, Michigan. I actually saw a documentary on this. The guys won millions of dollars in the state lotteries like 15 times.
Wow.
And he has some statistical analysis, some code where he determines. I don't fully know how he does it, but this guy's won multiple times. As a matter of fact, I think he started a business and he has investors, and like they go state by state and they buy all these tickets. It's insane.
So like if they probably factor with the scratch off tickets, there's so many.
No, not
winners
scratch offs, not scratch offs. No.
These are lotto.
Lotto.
You pick the numbers. They come in. You remember what was her name? Yolanda Vega.
Yolanda Vega.
The numbers brought to you by yeah. Where is Yolanda? And I'd like to know why did they do it live anymore at 11 o'clock or whatever?
So it used to be on the news,
Yeah,
right? It used to
yeah.
be part of your evening news or your nightly news. Well, whatever, the 11 o'clock news. But no, that now they do it at Powerball.com. It's streamed live online. And then the other one, Mega Millions, it's like you got to go to megamillions.com and watch it live there.
Isn't an independent third-party person pulling it, though, like they used to do it?
I don't think well, you say pulling it. They just take their hand off and the balls come up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's done exactly the same.
Wow.
All right, so, and then one more. Wayne commented here. Wayne, what did he say this morning? Wayne said, bleep. No.
Why you find that? When I was a kid at the newsroom in Mohawk, this is dating myself, they used to have this place called the newsroom, and she would have people's cards with their name on it, paper clipped, in a filing system, and every week she would play your numbers, and you would just have to make sure you went in and paid her for them, but you could have won. You know what I mean? People had the same numbers all the time, and you'd go to the newsroom, and Penny would play your numbers. You know?
Interesting. Wayne says, I've been playing quick picks for years. I've won more on a quick pick than my personal numbers. How would Joe know if he doesn't play? And he says, numbers are drawn random. Quick pick is picked random. I do think...
here we go again. So I make a comment. It's my own opinion. No,
it is.
Terrible day. You're going to have a terrible day.
We can disagree. All right, I want to move on here to the story about the abduction.
Yeah, because
you guys saw the story. Essentially, there was a New York State trooper, at least one, who was posted up outside of the house that the girl lived in, where she was, I can't think of her name, the Cena household, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she was abducted while she was at the camp at Moreau Lake State Park.
Charlotte
Cena, yeah. And they posted a state trooper outside of her home. Well, at some point, and this is the part I didn't understand, how did the abductor make his way to the house to leave the ransom note?
At 4:20 in the morning.
At 4:20 in the morning, right? I don't understand. Now, I would say keep in mind, fortunately, this guy was allowed to get to the house, and it turned out he left a fingerprint on the ransom note. But what if he was smarter than that and didn't leave a fingerprint on the ransom note? How he was allowed to get to the home and then leave the home just blows my mind.
I know. It wasn't mailed?
No, it wasn't mailed.
He dropped it off.
No, and there are reports that neighbors said they thought he worked as a mailman or at a post office. Okay, so it wasn't like he came around and was delivering mail and put it in there. He showed up, I believe,
in his truck.
In his truck, in like random clothes, and like put it in there. I don't think
he looks like a perfectly normal guy.
Oh, jeez.
Are you kidding me?
Kidding, Joe.
I know.
Wait, all right, so I'm going to just get the time.
I think
straight.
Somebody messed up. Or
There
the
was a
fell asleep.
trooper outside the house watching the house. This guy who kidnapped a kid that we find out later drives up in his own personal pickup truck, drops off the note in front of the house, and he's not even questioned at 4 o'clock in the morning what's going on?
And drives away, and the only reason they were able to track him down
because of the fingerprint, because he's slop?
Because he's sloppy, correct. Yeah. Imagine
and
if that wasn't...
And he had a DW... It was from when he got arrested for drunk driving in 99.
Yes.
Wow.
So there is...
Just blows my mind.
It does. It blows my mind, too. I think the trooper must have fallen asleep. That can't be an intentional strategy to let somebody unknown, when you're watching the house, come to the house, drop off a note, put something in the mailbox, and then leave. I mean, they didn't follow him. They didn't stop him. They didn't question him. The trooper had to fall asleep, right? How would you allow that to happen?
I mean,
thank goodness the guy left a fingerprint on there.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. Even if you're looking down or looking at your phone or whatever, you would notice the headlights of a truck, the stopping of the vehicle, the
person getting out at 4 o'clock in the morning and walking to the front door of the house of the person you're supposed to be watching.
The bigger question is like, and thank God this guy is I hate to say it, as dumb as he is, because he probably saw the trooper car.
Right, and he still stopped.
He still stopped and dropped the note off.
He was like, "Here I am.
Hey, look at me."
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, good morning. How are you, officer? Yeah, it must be the postman, or it must be the mailman.
Yeah, at 4:20.
I just
looking like he did.
Isn't that wild?
It's crazy. I can't believe you just sent that. I can't believe if that's the real story. If the Post has it right, that's amazing.
So it's. I don't know what the statistics are, but don't they always say, like, in an abduction, you've got, like, 24,
48 hours. You don't watch the show?
No, well, that's for a murder.
Oh.
That's 48 hours.
Yeah.
The first 48?
First 48.
Yeah, that's for
like
murder.
That.
You got a better chance of catching the suspect in the first 48 hours after somebody's murdered.
Yeah.
But in the case of an abduction, the longer it goes on,
the
less likely. It's not only that, but I think it's more likely that the
victim would be killed.
The child is killed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I to me that. The fact that he was allowed to come and go, and again, Governor Hochul and everybody who's talked about this from a law enforcement standpoint didn't say, we allowed the truck to come up, we took down the license plate number, and we tracked it. It's all about this fingerprint that he mistakenly left on the ransom note.
Right.
And even think beyond that. Like, let's say somebody had a death wish for this family, and they took the girl, and then they were going after the parents next. He could have just walked right into the house and done something to the parents.
Right, right.
The only thing I can think of is the guy fell asleep, or
he wasn't
trooper,
there.
the guy or the gal.
Or he wasn't there. Like he, maybe
he was playing Candy Crush.
Or I don't know. Maybe he drove away. I will give a benefit of a doubt. Maybe a shift change or something. But usually the other car, the replacement car would come up, and the other one would leave.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. If anybody wants to comment, 315-736-0186.
Maybe you went and grabbed a breakfast sandwich. Sometimes,
Yeah, they do that. But usually you have 2 cops in a car, and then one will go get the sandwiches. You've seen the movies.
Yeah, right.
Right. And if you got to go to the bathroom or
coffee,
something.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Some comments here, and Lance is weighing in. All right. Mike in Frankfurt says, well, if it was 4:20 in the morning, maybe the trooper was smoking weed and he didn't notice.
Oh, 4:20.
Let's see here.
He said 4:20.
Can you pull up the I was going to do a rim shot.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6 are down.
Okay, let's see here. This is actually, he says, careful making assumptions. What happens if they grab the guy at the mailbox and he had her hidden someplace and refused to give up her location? I don't know.
That's a good point.
I don't know the details at all, but I'm sure they can't release all of the details.
Okay, so maybe they did track him. That's how.
Nobody has said that.
Well, maybe, yeah. And actually, why wouldn't you say that now? Because it's over.
Right.
I could see if it was still going on, you wouldn't say anything because you didn't want to tip the person. But now that the guy's in custody, you got him, then you could say, yeah, this is what really happened.
I just and this is a member of law enforcement. I don't want to name him right, but he's right. I shouldn't make assumptions, but I've gone over in my mind and the scenario he outlines here. And I actually said this to somebody else I talked to. I said, well, what if they got him and it turns out he dug a hole in the ground and he's got the girl in there and he says, no, I'm not going to tell you where she is, and then you find out. Because you didn't let him go back to the location, the girl ended up being in the ground, and that's where she ended up dying or something like that. You hear these stories where these people dig these wells.
Well, look at Louis Lent. I mean, he still hasn't admitted where Sarah Ann Wood is. And he's been in prison for years.
That's a fair point. Again, the idea that you would allow somebody to go up onto a deck and do this,
without stopping and questioning that person. You would at least question, what are you doing here at 4:30 in the morning?
Correct.
Do you realize that this is a house of a,
Right. Yeah. And then getting a good look at him, you're grabbing him at that point.
Okay, and then Jeff chiming
for
in
something.
here.
Yeah. Like hair's too messy. I don't know.
The search is over, but the trial isn't. There may be facts not being revealed until the discovery of the trial. Now, that's
there's
what
still an investigation. Yep.
Again, they're more than happy to say we pulled the fingerprint off the envelope.
Right.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they
the
say...
The story is out there
Yeah.
that he walked up to the mailbox.
Yeah.
Or the investigation
why
is the
couldn't
internal
they say
investigation.
why they allowed him to do that?
Or the investigation is the internal investigation of state police of what happened and why possibly this guy wasn't stopped.
Carol says, I heard the trooper was pulled off to something else, but only heard that once. I actually had the same question. Okay, now, again, you're guarding the home. What, you got to go respond to a domestic? They don't have another person they can send out
Well,
there?
no, we got a lot of shortage of safety enforcers
I
out
will
there.
say that.
Well, that's
I mean,
true.
maybe you can blame...
Why post up somebody to the house if he's allowed, if you're going to send him someplace else?
Right.
I will say in defense of the state troopers, they do cover a huge area. I mean, the Oneida County Sheriff's Office has a similar problem. They've got a huge geographic area that they cover, and sometimes you can't get there,
especially in these rural areas. You know, I mean, it takes a while to get there.
Yeah.
You know,
reports say the trooper had to respond to a call. This comes from Kevin and wasn't in front of his home at the time. Hochul said there's an investigation into the matter. Clearly, it means that was not a strategy. This is from another member of law enforcement. I want to thank all the current and former police officers who are weighing in. Again, I don't pretend to understand this.
right? To any layman like us,
but
I mean, we're not in law enforcement, obviously.
Correct.
I wouldn't have a job, you know, because I believe in beatings before anything. So
it just completely
I couldn't do
baffles
that
me.
job.
It completely baffles me. Fortunately, like I said, this worked out. And the girl was found safe, and this scumbag is completely, he's been arrested, and he's being held in jail. I don't know. You know, they say there's a trial coming, and, we don't want to release information. I mean, the guy's fingerprint was on the letter.
Yeah.
The girl was stuffed into a cabinet inside of his camper.
His camper, right. So, I mean, obviously
allegedly.
The finger point, yeah.
Well, that's where they say they found her.
So, you brought up Lent the other day, right?
Another thing here, someone's chiming in. It says, did he have to walk up to the mailbox, or is it you just pull up and throw it out the window and leave? My understanding is he walked up and put it in the mailbox. And again, if you're watching someone's home, again, not law enforcement, maybe I'm wrong. You're watching someone's home, and the child has been abducted, and someone walks by and throws something out the window, which could be a bomb. Who knows what it is? You just let him go?
Right, no. That
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because then what's the purpose of having the trooper outside the home?
Right. It just makes more sense
As a witness?
now that
I don't understand.
He was drawn off or pulled off for some reason. Yeah.
Okay. Kathy in Rome wants to chime in. Good morning, Kathy. How are you?
Good morning to everybody. I have to say, that fingerprint came mighty handy for them to be able to grab him. But I'm just wondering, sooner or later, a lot of us all have to go for certain licenses and everything. And I've been fingerprinted for a couple of licenses.
Yep.
And I think sooner or later it might be a good idea if everybody was fingerprinted. I know, a lot of people would be dead, against it, for privacy and whatever. But I think having the fingerprints, I think it makes a difference. And also, had you heard the lawmakers talking about a 5% migrant tax possibly for New York State?
So, Kathy, I appreciate the phone call, and anyone else can weigh in at 315-736-0186. Okay, the first part about the fingerprints, Andrew, you were shaking your head. Go ahead and give your thoughts on
again, it's the same reason why I know it's a tough thing, and I know it's all for the well and good, but if I have no reason to have to give my fingerprint or my DNA, I'm not going to do it.
I like that IDme.com and all that
no,
stuff.
I don't did that. You, me, and 23 or whatever. No way.
But I also think, hey, that would be a great idea, Kathy. So everybody that votes should have to have a matching fingerprint.
Yeah, and an ID. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's racist.
Of course it is.
I'm being facetious because that's what people are going to say. Anything that you have to prove who you are in order to vote, people will say that's racist, which...
I got to prove who I am when I go buy a six-pack of beer and I'm 52. For God's sakes. They got to scan your ID. Then
You're
you should
62? You're
no,
not
52.
Yeah, I was gonna
you got to scan your ID when you go into the store to get a six-pack of beer. Well, then maybe you should be scanning IDs when you're sitting there pulling that voting.
I think it's a little bit on the racist side to assume that somebody's too dumb or stupid or whatever to have the inability to go and get a license is my thought on that.
All right, so I've got a statement here from the acting state police superintendent about this. The 5% tax, have you heard of anything about that?
No.
I haven't heard about that either.
It wouldn't shock me, but I have not heard that.
Okay, so here we go. This is back on the investigation. This is the acting superintendent's statement on the matter. Let's see how much of this I can read. Okay. Declined comment Tuesday on the actions of the trooper who had been guarding the family's residence early Monday. Both state police and Hochul's office said they would not comment due to an ongoing investigation. But Colonel Richard Allen, who is the acting head of state police due to the recent resignation of Superintendent Stephen Negrelli, gave an interview to ABC News on Tuesday saying that, quote, people were stopping all night by the family's residence and that the trooper stationed there assumed that Ross was simply a, quote, regular person. If the note he allegedly left did not contain his fingerprint, it's unclear whether police would have been able to identify him.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so maybe I shouldn't.
But see, that doesn't make sense. If you're
Regular
watching the
people
house,
were stopping at 4:20 in the morning.
Who's stopping to? We're gonna
Grandma's
drop
coming
off
over with
the
some
cookie.
cookies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Hello.
I don't know.
Not
It's just-
Ronald McDonald. This guy looked like a crazed Ronald McDonald, you know?
We'll go back to the phone lines.
Look like Bernie
Something
Hatch.
else was raised here that I wanted to mention. 315-736-0186. Nick is on the line. Hey, Nick.
Hey guys, listen. I was reading some stuff online this morning, and it said that they actually saw the guy, took his plate, and started tracking that car well before all the fingerprint stuff came out. So, I think there's some conflicting information out there, but apparently they did. Apparently they said, it's not uncommon that cars go back and forth, and they didn't want to just grab and spook the guy. So, but apparently they took his plate and they tracked him, and they had him kind of in their sights before the fingerprints came out. So, I know there's a lot of information going out there, but it sounds like the troopers did the right thing, and they didn't just let this guy, drop the ransom note off and take off. So
Interesting. I haven't heard that, but you could be right, Nick. I appreciate the call.
That would make sense. I mean,
yeah, you being methodical and making sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
Now, that would make sense to me, to let somebody come and go. Again, for the reason I think that Jeff Hartz pointed out, is that what if...
You don't want to risk the girl's safety.
Correct.
Yeah.
But again, we hadn't heard that report. It was all about the fingerprint.
Yeah.
And
not that
I hope
not that a
that's the
suspect
case.
had stopped by and they were tracking and actively looking for the person.
I hope that's the case. It just struck me as so odd that someone would be allowed to come and go that way.
But it is, getting back to, I just remember thinking, as somebody who's participated in the Ride for Missing Children and things like that, the kind of the mirror parallel to Sarah Ann Wood, that she was riding her bike and that it happened in a state park and what you'd think is a safe area, and it's just it was really a scary moment, I think, and especially for people around here to kind of have that, oh my gosh, like almost a flashback to when that happened is.
Which is crazy because I can't believe, number one, he's still alive in prison. I Googled that the other day because we were talking about him. And the fact that, yes, we still don't know where.
Well,
where
they
Sarah.
say, I've heard certain reports say that his mother is still alive. And some people assume that he does not want to do anything while his mother's still alive because it's very possible that there are several victims that are buried maybe possibly on the family property.
Oh.
That's, again,
so
I don't know
when
that
she
for
passes
sure.
away, maybe he'll open up and say something?
Or if the property is sold, the new owner says, go and
Go
do
in,
whatever
yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I just want to, Nick, appreciate the phone call. He could be completely right. I haven't heard that report. But again, we have people weighing in here who say reports say the trooper had to respond to a call and wasn't in front at the time. So which was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
I guess we'll find out
And
eventually.
You know what? Shame on me, I guess, for speculating. It's just
I know.
something I cannot wrap my brain around.
Yeah.
I just can't wrap my brain around it. 315-736-0186. You can comment on the app, and I'll read it as long as it's appropriate. Lance and Lee is chiming in. He says he's not the guy who called me that one day. He says, we've only spoken on the phone one time. I'll read the rest of his comment coming up in just a second. He's weighing in on
We
some
may
things.
have to do 2 free money questions next hour, too,
I
by
know.
the way.
Actually, let's do it now. I'm scrambling for a question. We're going to go $100 each. I don't want Hobica to get mad at me again. 315-736-0186. Smitty, what are we taking? Smitty?
Yeah.
You fall asleep in there?
Sorry.
What do you want to do for
He's
callers?
coming up with a question for us.
Caller 6.
Okay.
And caller?
We're going to do 2.
Oh, two in a row. Nice.
Okay. Caller 6 and 7.
Oh.
Okay.
Look at that.
All right. I was trying to make it difficult, but 6 and 7, 315-736-0186.
He needs more time for a question. We need caller 23 and 81.
The free money question of the day is coming up next. What's that, bud?
I'd be here all afternoon if you did that.
We'll come back right after this on WIBX.
The Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is your community foundation. Together, we've invested $125 million in the community, thanks to people, families, and businesses that want to give back and build a brighter future. And you don't have to have big bucks to make a big difference. Join us as we invest in the future of our community. Learn more about your community foundation at foundationhoc.org.
Hi, folks. This is Congressman Brandon Williams. As your representative in Congress, if you need help with the IRS, the VA, or Social Security, I want you to give my office a call. I can help cut through any red tape and make sure you're being treated fairly. To receive assistance with any federal agency, please call my Syracuse District Office at 315-233-4333. 315-233-4333, or visit brandonwilliams.house.gov. brandonwilliams.house.gov. It's an honor to represent you. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
The Wynn Hospital. Unwavering commitment and compassion. State-of-the-art technology and techniques. Advanced expertise and innovation. Consistent safety and quality. And it all will be exactly where you need it, because this fall, the brand new state-of-the-art Wynn Hospital will open in downtown Utica. Soon, you will be able to experience local care on a whole new level. The Wynn Hospital, world-class care is right around the corner. Learn more at mvhealthsystem.org. This is for you. At MVHS, our team members fell in love with care long ago. Their lives were changed, and their world has been expanding ever since. In respect, compassion, knowledge, and ability. And it's only just begun. Because fueling the future of care starts here at the Wynn Hospital. The Wynn Hospital, opening in October 2023. Learn more at mvhealthsystem.org. This is for you.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information that you should know about planning for nursing home care. Well, the best way, of course, is to plan ahead. The key is to make sure that you make decisions far ahead of the time that you need a nursing home. Getting the basic pieces in place, including power of attorney, healthcare proxy, will, trust, all those things, and working closely with your family to make sure you're organized and ready to go in case the worst happens. You should also know there are strategies you can employ, even if you currently have a loved one in a nursing home. When there's a crisis and someone's entered a nursing home, there are things we can do to act very quickly to protect some of the assets. It really does require that an elder law attorney be involved because the techniques that are used are very technical in nature. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
John and Marie heard about Mattress Express's newest promotion where you simply stop in, perform a simple comfort test, and get a prepaid $25 Visa card. They went to Mattress Express's location in New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. They tried Tempur-Pedic. They tried Stearns & Foster. They tried the 9 different purple mattresses. They loved them all. They settled on the Q9 King number bed by Instant Comfort in a flex head. John liked his side firm. We set it to 4 40, elevated his head and feet, said he'd never been more comfortable. Marie liked her side softer. She was an 18. What a difference. Elevated her head a little higher, her feet a little less. They said it was like they were each in their own custom bed. They qualified and signed up for the 5 years, no interest, no money down, did not give us a nickel up front. They, for their luxury rewards, selected a 75-inch flat screen TV. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. Come to any Mattress Express, perform a simple comfort test, and get a $25 prepaid Visa card.
If you trade stocks, then you know avoiding pitfalls is the biggest challenge for both new and experienced investors. Vantage Point's dual-patented artificial intelligence provides a powerful solution to this problem by offering predictive accuracy, emotional neutrality, and diverse market forecasts for today's active traders. Vantage Point's AI analyzes billions of data points in seconds, so you get highly accurate predicted market conditions for the next trading day. Take the emotion out of your trading. Text the word money to 813-813. Navigate the financial markets with confidence using AI. Text MONEY to 813-813 right now to learn more for free. Text money to 813-813 to experience the benefits of AI in your trading. Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Past results do not guarantee future performance. By texting, you agree to the terms available at VantagePointSoftware.com and consent to receive calls and texts using automated technology about offers or info by or on behalf of Vantage Point. Your consent is not a condition to purchase and can be revoked at any time. Message and data rates may apply. Text the word money to 813-813.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
This is not Keeler.
No.
This is
no,
Manaski, Andrew, and Joe Load. Good morning, guys. All right, we're going to try to give away some of Hobica's money here. This is the free money question of the day. Joseph and Andrew Hobica. Can you play that a couple more times, please?
What happened? Take your finger off the mouse.
I didn't realize it rang that much.
For $100, and first we're going to Scott in Whitesboro. Good morning, Scott. How are you?
How are you?
Very good. Very good. You ready to win $100?
I'll try.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Almost 90. Are you ready? You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Yep. All right.
Is there a clock?
This is about like kind of space in our galaxy and all that good stuff. Almost 99.9% of the mass in our solar system is this. Ready? Go.
Hydrogen.
That's a good answer. Almost 99.9% of the mass.
Wait, do you have to say, is that your final answer?
Well, the time
went off. The buzzer went off.
If you had said hydrogen.
Because I want to make sure we're clear for other people.
Yeah.
Almost 99.9% of the mass in our solar system is the sun.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I was wrong.
Sun. That's a tough question, right?
That's a big son of a gun, that sun.
Yeah.
That sun is pretty big. I didn't know that either.
It was boiling yesterday, I'll tell you. Almost 90.
Oof.
I love it.
It came up. So, Scott, you've got a $25 gift card to the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun gift card. It's good at Aquavino, Babe, 72, Taylor and the Cook, and the concession stands at the Adirondack Bank Center. And, of course, hockey is just around the corner, literally just around the corner. In fact, we're going to talk with Jason Shia coming up in just 2 minutes. So thanks for playing, and hang on the line. Smitty will get your info, okay?
I think that's almost a better prize than Andrew Bica's money or the Habica
Joe,
one.
yeah.
Wait, so $25 is better than $100.
Well,
does that make any sense?
Some of the food you can get for that $25 is...
I love that cable bacon. You ever had that cable bacon at 72 Tavern?
They take cash, too.
I know, but pretty soon places won't.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
They're taking Bitcoin and
so
all of
gift
this
cards are much better.
Eric in Deerfield is our second contestant this morning. Good morning, Eric. How are you?
Good morning, Jeff. Fine.
This is going to be a sports-related question,
He loves that
and
little
I lost
catch,
it here. Okay. Are you
Love
a sports
that
fan?
sound.
Yeah, I like some sports.
All right. So here's the question. On this date, in 2001, Barry Bonds broke Mark McGwire's single-season home run record. What number home run did he hit on this date? Ready, go.
Mark McGwire's 60.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Okay, this was kind of a trick question. The answer was actually 71 and 72. He ended the season with 73, but on this date in 2001, he hit two, 71 and 72. Again, you win a $25 all-in-one food and fun gift card to Aquavino, Babe, 72, Taylor and the Cook, and the concessions at the Adirondack Bank Center.
I think it's a great prize.
Yeah, because whether it's the cable bacon at 72 Tavern or the tenders at the Odd, you can't lose.
Yes, Eric, go ahead.
I was really hoping for a Giants question because we are diehard Giants fans.
Is this Eric R? How you doing, buddy? Good to hear from you.
Yeah, it's me. Hi, Andrew. How are you?
Listen, if you're a real Giants fan, I want to hear you boo right now as loud as you can.
I was booing the other night. I was flabbergasted what they did at home.
Yeah, terrible and embarrassing. So,
It is.
Eric, thank you for playing. Hold on, and Smitty will get your information as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got Nagel texting in.
Oh, no.
He claims the sun is 98% hydrogen.
No. That's fine, but okay. Well, I said 99.9%.
Yeah,
but the
so
answer
he's-
was the sun. I didn't come up with a question. It was a trivia question that sent to me, and I fact checked it, and it's true. So Nagel, thank you so much.
Fact check false.
I'm not the Washington Post or New York Times. Jason
Thank
Shia
God.
is on the line. Good morning, Jason. How are you?
Good morning, guys. What's going on?
Good. We're having a little too much fun here these last couple days without Bill with us, so we'll try to rein it in for you. Listen, right around the corner, if I'm not mistaken, are you guys? Would you stop with the sound effects? Troy, you can't give you anything.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
If I'm not mistaken, preseason tomorrow night, right?
Preseason Friday night at the Odd. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly this thing happens. We were in the midst of summer. It feels like 2 minutes ago, and now we have hockey coming on. So it's exciting. I mean, it'll be an interesting season for sure. I think this is the best team that I've been a part of, at least on paper. The Devils have spent a lot of money in the American League to try to create depth in the NHL to make sure they have depth if they need it. And so that means we're obviously picking up some really good players along the way. So I'm excited about this season. It's probably at least you look at it, you look at the division, this is a playoff team at least to start, but lots going to happen between now and the end.
That's a good point about the weather shifting. If there's anything that gives you relief from winter, I know, Joe, you snowmobile, but when for somebody like me who doesn't ski or do anything, the Utica Comets hockey season is the relief through the winter.
It's something to look forward to on the gray days.
The best thing, too, about the Odd, a couple of years ago when I got here, I used to come here as a visitor, and I'd say, "Who the hell is everybody parking for these games? Like, there's no parking." And now they just have this massive parking lot, free parking right next to the Odd, which is great. And then you don't have to literally fight the snow on the way in. But you're right, it is a relief for the summer, or for the winter rather. And it's probably the best entertainment you're going to find in the city.
It is very exciting. I will tell you, I am impressed with the way the Odd handles the games and the excitement to it. I wish they would incorporate a little bit more action. More fights. Can we promote the fights a little bit more?
Yeah, come on.
It's amazing how much it's like fighting is now. Like when I first started 20 years ago, there were fights all the time. It feels like, and now it just teams will have a tough guy on their team, but even the tough guy can play the game. So
right, that's the thing. He's not just a brawler.
If he doesn't have to.
Right, he's not just a brawler anymore. He can actually score a goal.
I'm actually surprised in today's day and age that they haven't put a kibosh even in the NHL to that.
Yeah,
it would be. They talked about this, but it would ruin the game.
Yeah,
it would absolutely ruin the game if they did that.
Look, I'm not going to go too far on this, but to flip sports on you. But that's why I think in baseball it bothers me when umps throw out a pitcher who beans a guy. That's the enforcement mechanism. As long as you're not throwing at somebody's head,
right?
And like in hockey, if you're not kicking a guy with your skate, the blade of your skate, like fighting's part of the game. And I think beaning a guy.
So you're absolutely right. And we're men in the midst of an intense moment. And what they should do in baseball is they should allow fights in baseball. If people think it's crazy, but if a pitcher and a guy at the plate go to fight each other, they'll wear themselves out in 20 seconds.
Yep.
It'll be broken up by the umpires. They get tossed out of the game, and the game goes on rather than having 57 people on the field trying to hit each other.
That's a great point.
Right, and I like that idea because the other thing that bothers me with baseball is that when you get a hit and you're on first base and the other team guy's laughing and joking with you, no, why? Why are you doing it? That's your enemy. He's your enemy.
Oh, come on.
I don't like to tap you on the butt and everything else.
With free agency, they reshuffle the deck every year.
I
These
don't
guys
care.
play together.
You know what?
and-
Ty Cobb is rolling over in his grave.
Oh, my goodness.
It's ridiculous.
I'm okay with the sportsmanship in any way. Hockey has a lot of it. But what you have in hockey is you have guys who have to be held accountable for stupid things that they do, which means if you run around like an idiot, there's a very good likelihood someone's literally going to punch you in the face. And so it has a way of tempering people's stupidity on the ice. It doesn't mean guys don't get out of hand and do dumb things, but they have to answer the bell. And that in hockey is different than any other sport, which is why it can be really dirty, but it isn't, because it regulates itself.
Yeah. I completely agree. It's a great element of the sport.
And if you take that away from the game, to me it's not as exciting. Like
go watch college hockey, and God bless those college kids, but it's not the same. It's where they're wearing the full face shield. They can skate around like dummies. They yell these. Also, by the way, when you watch them yell at each other and talk about, they're not going to fight each other. So just what are you doing? Go back to your bench.
Right.
It's not as fun. Like hockey has the edge. That edge gives this sport something that other sports don't have. The potential that at any point somebody's going to fight somebody else. And it's a dimension that I love. You can't take it from the game.
Yeah, I think it brings the gladiator out. It brings the Coliseum appeal. And I think you're right, because look what it's done to football. It's dummied down football to the point where it's disgusting. Oh, you can't hit the quarterback. Well, what's the sense? That's what I'm trying to do here.
See, again, though, I don't ever want to see anybody get injured, but sometimes a guy deserves to get punched in the face.
Right.
Correct.
He doesn't need a brain injury or a broken leg, but maybe a black eye. Yeah, okay.
Right.
But if we begin with the principle that nobody can ever get hurt doing anything, then we're going to be in a really tough spot.
Let's just carry around pills for everybody.
We have Tom Brady to blame for that.
Yeah.
Before I forget here, before we run out of time, I saw the billboard. I was on 12. What is the millionth fan thing? Explain this to us.
I'm intrigued.
Oh, God. You're going to ask me about promotionals. I'm going to kill Michael Lear for not telling me. Here's my simple answer to everything. Go to uticacomics.com and find out more. I don't have my talking points in front of me, so I'm sure it's something cool. I wear many hats. Don't sit in every marketing meeting.
I completely agree. I apologize because I don't think I told Michael that I was going to ask you that. I just happened to see it the other day, and I was like, oh, I'll ask Jason about that when he's on. It's a really cool thing.
Rob and the marketing team, I mean, how many seasons? Over 11th, 12th
Is this
now?
the 11th season now?
This 11th season.
11 seasons, and, they're still creating new and exciting things to bring people out and have a good fan experience.
Here's the thing about Robert Ashe that I can tell you above all. He is the kind of person that helps drive an economy because he's an entrepreneur, and which means he's restless. It means he's never content. It means even perfect isn't always good enough. He always strives. So yeah, he never sits back and goes, well, we'll just do what we did last year. He doesn't do that stuff. It would be nice if he did that. But he doesn't operate with that kind of mindset. So he's always looking for new avenues to conquer. It makes everybody around him very accountable. You have to come to work every day with excitement because he's there. It's all leadership. It's all with Rob. It's leadership, and he's the guy that's always pulling the rope. So you're right. He doesn't just sit around and go, well, just Control C, Control V. No, it's not that. It's let's figure out something new and find ways to bring people in the odd and have them excited.
And for those who are not technically inclined, that would be a copy and paste. Control V. Control. That was very good, though. No, it took me a second, but that was good. All right, so what's your off season like?
Well, it's the best time of the world because I don't have to go to a hockey game. My entire 6 months of my entire life, almost 20 years now, 19 seasons, has been on paper, so I know exactly where I'm going to be and when I'm going to be there. And so that the off season is just so much better. You can relax. I can go home to Detroit to see my family and just not have to have the pressure of the season because the season is quite, for me anyways, with all the things that I do, there's a lot of pressure and there's not a lot of room for mistakes because I take care of the team travel. I also have to oversee 2 of our junior teams and their budgeting and whatnot. These are things that have nothing to do with broadcasting. Broadcasting becomes almost like an also ran in my day, even though it's my actual career. I get a chance to call games in the NHL occasionally. So that's why I have a lot of things going on.
Yeah,
you're not a Lions fan, are you?
Well, look, my dad, he was a massive Lions fan, and the poor man never saw them win anything. And my brother has taken on the mantle of being a Lions fan. I do have a soft spot in my heart. But I'm not this is going to sound stupid too. I'm not a sports fan necessarily. If you pay me to watch something and tell you what's happening, I have no problem doing that, by the way. But I'm not going to a sporting event. But I do wish in my lifetime the Lions would win a Super Bowl because I don't know what that city would do, but the fans have been percolating for something to happen good for them, and I feel bad.
Jason,
Jason, good talking to you. We'll talk to you later now.
Listen, I really appreciate your time this morning. I'd like to catch up with you again. Maybe we can do it again next week. I know when is the home opener again?
You'll see, I know this one. It's October 13th.
All right, just around the corner,
October
which is
13th,
next Friday.
Against Syracuse Crunch.
Friday the 13th.
Next Friday, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Jason, thank you so much. We always love to hear you calling the games, and we'll check in many times this season.
All right, boys, you got it. Take care.
Jason Shia, the voice of the Utica Comets. I'll quickly say some of my friends, and in fact my girlfriend sometimes, she'll be like, "You're quiet tonight." And babe, you got to pay me if you want me to talk. That's what I do for a
like
living.
the line, right? I do like that line.
WIBX 950, Utica Rome. Stay tuned. We've got your Keeler cash code coming up during the news. It's 8 o'clock.
He wants an apology from President Biden. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former President Trump posted that on social media, writing, he's watching them break every environmental law in the book to prove he was right, building border wall. Reacting to this.
The Biden administration is lifting 26 federal laws to fast-track construction of the border wall in Texas. Now, DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas announced the move yesterday, saying, quote, there is presently an acute and immediate need to construct physical barriers and roads in the vicinity of the border of the United States in order to prevent unlawful entries into the country.
That's Fox's Brooke Sigmund. They'll build wall along 17 miles of border in Texas following a record surge of migrants crossing illegally into the U.S. last month and in the just ended last fiscal year. Today, the Secretary of State and Attorney General are in Mexico for talks on slowing migration. President Biden, meanwhile, will meet with his national security team focused on helping stop Russia's war in Ukraine. Ukraine's president's gone to Spain asking for more help.
Leaders from more than 40 countries are in Spain as cracks begin to show in the pro-Ukraine alliance. And President Joe Biden's trouble getting an aid package through Congress is being followed very closely. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says President Biden has assured her of American support.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. The House remains in recess till next week, considering who will replace ousted Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Congressman Tim Burchett is one of the 8 Republicans who joined Democrats voting McCarthy out, and he tells the Fox News Rundown podcast,
I didn't come here to make friends with these folks up here. This is a swamp, and it is real, and it is very contagious. And that's why we are $33 trillion in debt.
Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise are leading candidates to replace McCarthy. I have bad news. You didn't win the Powerball jackpot. I didn't either. Now the good news. We have another chance Saturday, and the prize has grown to $1.4 billion. America's listening to Fox News.
Bring smiles to all when shopping online with Dell Technologies Gift Guide. Whether it's for the artist, the entrepreneur, the student, or the streamer, you'll find the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Dell.com/gift guide makes gifting easy with a carefully curated selection of our best tech. Shop now to explore our innovative PCs like the XPS 13 laptop, powered by the latest Intel Core processors, plus this season's top accessories. Visit Dell.com/gift guide today to get a jump on your holiday gift list. That's Dell.com/gift guide.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money printing. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. Text the word PROTECT to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
A week. Good morning. We have mostly clear skies, 59 degrees. WIBX news time is 8:03. Well, we spent some time this morning talking about the abduction in the Albany area. We have a local case involving a missing or possible runaway individual. New York State Police searching for a missing Herkimer teen. 16-year-old Emily Clapper was reported missing on October 2nd. She's described as 5'4", 120 pounds. She has red hair and blue eyes. Emily was last seen wearing a gray sweatshirt with Old Forge in white letters and possibly gray sweatpants. You can find a photo of the teen on our website at WIBX950.com. Moreau Lake State Park remains closed following the abduction of 9-year-old Charlotte Cena that occurred over the weekend. The girl was abducted Saturday on her bicycle following an intense search. She was found safe at an address in Milton on Monday. The man who allegedly kidnapped her, 46-year-old Craig Ross Jr., remains in custody without bail after being arraigned on a felony charge. No word yet on when that park might reopen. For a small fee, bars and restaurants across the Mohawk Valley will be allowed to serve alcohol earlier than normal this Sunday for the Bills game. The Bills, of course, traveling across the pond to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. Game set to kick off at 9:30 Eastern Time. Yes.
So you can get to the bar early, like at 6 a.m. and start drinking?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Oh, 8.
I was getting to that. I was getting there. So it's typically 10 a.m. that you can... hold on. It's $35.
$35?
Again,
for
I was
2 hours.
Getting to that.
Oh.
What are you, Gallagher? You're going to keep interrupting my newscast here?
Why do you keep shutting me off?
I shut me off, too, over there.
Any
Mike
other questions?
the chair.
Any other questions? You want to wait till I get to the end here?
Go ahead.
Typically, you can't serve till 10 a.m. Governor Kathy Hochul, though, says you'll be allowed to pour starting at 8 a.m. This coming Sunday in order to serve Bills Mafia members and football fans in general who want to go out and watch the game. Businesses will need to apply for a special permit to do so. The fee is $35. Applications need to be submitted to the State Liquor Authority by 3 o'clock, and the checks have to go as well by 3 o'clock Friday afternoon. You also need a waiver from your local municipality. If you want more information, Joe, full info and links to the appropriate places to apply and get the waiver form and all that stuff, just go to WIBX950.com or you can click on the mobile app. Got any more?
No, that's good news, though. If you want to get out early.
Yeah, if you want to get out early. Bills Mafia. WIBX news time is 8:06. I'll get your cash code in 1 second. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, breezy. Still warm, sunshine over to afternoon clouds, a high of 85. Tonight, clouds increase, still mild for October, a low of 62. Friday, breezy, not quite as warm, partly sunny in the morning. Then more clouds with showers or a period of light rain developing mainly in the afternoon, a high of 72. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
All right, right now we have mostly clear skies. What are we at temperature-wise? 61. It is coming up on 8:07, and your Keeler cash code this hour is 427. 427. Just enter that and you could win cash from Keeler and WIBX.
In sports, the MLB wildcard round is complete. The Diamondbacks, Twins,
Who
Phillies.
won the games yesterday?
The Diamondbacks, Twins, Phillies, and Rangers.
Just kidding. I was playing Joe Lowe there.
What?
Just interrupting the... Go.
The Rangers took down the Rays 7-1. The Twins took care of business with a 2-0 shutout over the Blue Jays. The Brewers were defeated 5-2 by Arizona, and the Phillies had a 7-1 win over the Marlins. The divisional round of the playoffs begin on Saturday. One member of the Giants' offensive line is taking aim at his critics. Right tackle Evan Neal said during an interview with NJ Advanced Media on Wednesday, the fans who booed them during Monday night's loss to the Seattle Seahawks should boo louder. At halftime, he reacted to the boos from the home fans by gesturing sarcastically for them to bring more of the verbal discontent.
I got more.
According to Pro Football Focus, Neal has allowed 20 total pressures this season and has a pass block win rate of 84.8%, which ranks him 39th of 65 qualifying tackles. New York is currently last in the NFC East at 1-3. The Jets are taking the reins off their second-year running back. Head coach Robert Saleh confirmed Wednesday that Breece Hall is no longer on a pitch count, meaning his playing time will no longer be restricted. Hall tore his ACL as a rookie nearly 1 year ago. The 22-year-old had been having his playing time limited since the team did not want to tax his surgically repaired knee. New York is currently tied for last in the AFC East at 1-3. They'll visit the Broncos in Week 5. WIBX 950 News Time coming up on 8:09.
All right, stay tuned. We'll talk with Rick Lewis coming up in a few minutes. More of our conversations about various things. We'll share a rather mean comment from Lance this morning, but I'll share it. Right? You're not offended by it, are you?
Skin. My skin is thick and there's plenty of hair,
especially around the midsection, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Same here. WIBX News Time is 8:09. A lot more to get to right here.
But I don't want to get a flu shot. You don't want to get the flu again. It's just a teensy little poke.
Hi, guys. I know you don't like needles, so I brought Buzzy.
What is that?
It's a device that uses vibration and ice to help take the sting out of shots.
See, hun, that wasn't so bad.
Wait, you did it already?
Yep, Buzzy helps. And Kinney is the only pharmacy that has him.
I'm gonna tell everyone I know.
Great. They can schedule online at kinneydrugs.com.
Home and Hospital Medical Supply in the New Hartford Shopping Center proudly carries a wide selection of home medical equipment. Lift chairs to buy or rent, canes, crutches, walkers, powered scooters, braces, foot care products, and so much more. And if for some reason they don't carry the product you need, they'll custom order it at no extra charge. Mary and her experienced team are there to assist you Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or call them 315-724-6767 and online at hnhmedicalny.com. Home and Hospital Medical Supplies, we make life easier.
This is Harry G., the heat pump expert from Country Suburban. When your state planning to eliminate fossil fuels, heat pumps are the wave of the future. Heat pumps can save you up to 30% or more on your heating and cooling bills. Right now, you can receive up to $20,000 in heat pump incentives. Call 315-735-5300 for a free estimate.
Offer good while funds are available.
Major phone carriers make you sign contracts with rigid data plans to trap you into a kind of forced phonogamy. Sounds pretty insecure if you ask me. At Consumer Cellular, we believe in a more consensual and healthy form of phonogamy, free of contracts and more flexible to your data needs. This way, you stick around not because we force you to with contracts and fees, but because you love our phone plans. Like ardently love our phone plans. Phonogamously. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always asking,
Where next?
You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Okay, everyone, gather round. It's time for corny jokes about passing the torch.
The team at Kirian's Welding was fused together solid.
Thanks for all the late nights and early shifts.
But double retirements mean the crew must bond with some certified new hires.
You've both gone the extra millimeter.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
And now, try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Go green and save green right now at City Suburban. There has never been a better way to heat and cool your home than with a new Mitsubishi electric heat pump system from City Suburban. They provide energy-efficient comfort year-round, are whisper quiet, 40% more efficient than conventional systems, and offer room-by-room temperature control. And the best part is right now you can save up to $9,000 in rebates with the New York State Clean Heat Program while funds are available. Go green and make the switch switch today and has always received City Suburban's POMG. That's peace of mind guarantee.
This is Chris from City Suburban on Route 233 in Westmoreland. There has never been a better time to upgrade your system than right now. You can save up to $9,000 with New York State clean heat rebates and make your home more comfortable and efficient for years to come. Call us today at 853-3899. That's 853-3899. Or visit us at citysuburban.com.
The Wynn Hospital. Unwavering commitment and compassion. State-of-the-art technology and techniques. Advanced expertise and innovation. Consistent safety and quality. And it all will be exactly where you need it, because this fall, the brand new state-of-the-art Wynn Hospital will open in downtown Utica. Soon, you will be able to experience local care on a whole new level. The Wynn Hospital. World-class care is right around the corner. Learn more at mvhealthsystem.org. This is for you. At MVHS, our team members fell in love with care long ago. Their lives were changed, and their world has been expanding ever since. In respect, compassion, knowledge, and ability. And it's only just begun. Because fueling the future of care starts here at the Wynn Hospital. The Wynn Hospital, opening in October 2023. Learn more at mvhealthsystem.org. This is for you.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, back here, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. Manaski sitting in, and Andrew, I guess I'm always here, right?
Yeah.
I'm normally here. They have to deal with me
You're
all the time.
You're taking the lead, though, on this.
Yes.
On this day.
Let me get to this comment here from Lance and Lee. Lance sent a comment earlier. I'm having trouble refreshing the page. He said we only spoke on the phone once. I thought it was twice. But anyway, Lance, he said these two should know better than alienate more than half of Rome and Lee with their statements. If Lanigan supporters were looking to list a house or buy a vehicle, those statements probably weren't the smartest decision. Take a drive around Rome. There are plenty of signs out there. There must be a reason that there are all the Lanigan signs out there. Yeah, okay, fair point. But look, you can't disagree with somebody politically.
Well, I don't know that I even necessarily said anything.
I don't think you said anything.
I just pointed out some things that I think are positives for the Rome area.
How dare you?
And have actually helped my business because it's easier now to sell homes in the city of Rome. So, I'm not gonna say whether I have the opinion one way or the other. I'm gonna be critical when I think something's not right, and I'm gonna be positive when I think something's good.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know where he's going with this. You can't disagree. I mean, what's the point of having the show if we're going to be all milquetoast?
I know, exactly.
I don't understand.
And if somebody, this may be a dangerous thing to say, but if somebody doesn't want to work with me because of something I said, well, that's on them. Plenty of other clients.
Rick, are you going to leave now? You offended by something you said?
Oh no, I'm barely awake. I've been drinking coffee. And I will probably raid your coffee machine on my way out of here.
There you go.
I spent the night doing the first wave of editing of cat videos. I'm allergic to cats.
Okay.
For starters, and I do not understand what is so fascinating. That people are very fascinated with watching cat videos. I mean, we're doing this thing Saturday.
Yeah.
The Cat Video Festival. And
interesting.
And every time we do have it in the Capitol, there's like 400 people. And there's 10, 15-second clips of cats. And one quote I have in the show, the woman, I asked her, well, what is the fascination with cat videos? Because they're on YouTube, too.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, I don't know. You can just watch a cat not doing anything, just laying there.
It's cathartic for some people. It really is.
And I'm like, wow, okay. And I'm putting this together, and I said, okay.
Well, I got to be honest. I wasn't a fan of cats. I'm a dog person. But when I met my girlfriend and we moved in together, she's got 2 cats, and I've grown quite fond of the little things.
Yeah. Oh, I have nothing. Trust me, it's not like I have anything against cats.
You're
it's
just allergic.
I'm just allergic to them, and
they have something against you.
Yeah, and
it's called dander.
I have at the Capitol. There's a cat. Always a cat. There's always a theater cat. I guess it's a tradition in theaters.
Yeah.
And it's in the office. And actually, if you guys do you guys have tissue or anything? I have a perpetual runny nose because I have inflamed nasal passages. Because
there's like shots you can get. Right?
I don't even stay in the office. I have no office hours because of that. And I work from home, and I come in there every couple of times. And when I do come in for extended times, it's constantly irritated.
Yeah.
And so I have nothing against the cats, but I don't have the fascination with them because I have no interaction. But I mean, some of the things that people have said in these, like they supplied me with some photos with, tell me about your cat. And they're really like a family member. I mean, and people do that with their dogs too.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way with my dog.
Yeah.
I mean, look, people have said, if there's, I don't know, they always, the story they give is like if they're both, in trouble and you can only save one. Well, every single time I'm saving my son first, but we do consider my dog.
I would hope so.
I do consider to be a member.
Well, you're just saying that because he might be listening and you're on the radio. I mean,
no.
I mean,
I do leave the radio on at the house just so when I'm not there, my dog, there's a little noise in the background, so it's not all silent. So she's listening to me right now too.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Shay, but
no, but I will say, cats have an effect on people, I think, in some cases that dogs don't. Like you hear the stories of, well, I got one cat and it turned into 3, and now I've got 800, and I don't know what to do with it anymore. I got a little out of hand, and it's
Well, there's a thing I never heard of it before. They call them foster care of cats.
Yeah,
and it's like most people are familiar with cats or dogs at the humane societies.
Right.
But these are like foster homes. They take the cats and they make them part of the family until somebody adopts them.
Yeah.
And many times they call it foster failure, where, I don't want to give up the cat.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And
like
they end up with 10 cats in their house.
Yeah, that does happen. I mean, look, you get an attachment to them, and again, they give you some affection, and you give them some affection.
Well, they could wreak havoc on your house in a lot of ways. I'll just say that.
Well, that's true. Do you have a pet?
Oh yeah, we got a dog, and we have a dog and 2 cats.
All right. Well, you better not let your girlfriend hear you saying this.
No, I'm saying we're not getting more than 2. I'll just say that.
You're going to be sleeping out on the couch for a while.
And right now she's saying, "Oh, we aren't, huh? Don't tell me. Don't you tell me I'm only on
another cat." Although I'm trying to convince her to get another dog. I think we need to be medicated or something.
It sounds like politics, a negotiation here.
Yeah.
So this weekend there's a big cat film festival.
Well, yeah. Well, there's actually the full-length movie, which is a movie compilation of cat videos.
Okay,
and then what I've done is we have local cat videos, and I had put out a note for people to submit their cat videos and or video or still picture, and comments. And I learned this doing a couple of things like that I've done similar. You're supposed to put word count limitations, and I didn't.
People are writing novels about their
gosh. Well, and the thing is, being a person who does editing, I'll just edit it. But some of these details are like, wow, really personal. Well, I was blah blah blah, and it was when I had this cat at the low time of my life. Now I got to edit this, and I go, well,
that's important.
Low time of your life is not as important as this, or if I leave that out, then wow, now I'm in a position of having to take out extremely personal details to fit in the space.
Yeah.
So, I didn't do that in the beginning, so I'm finding myself having a difficult time editing. And please forgive me if I took out something that you meant. If you're listening to me now, I 100. I had 100 of them.
That's pretty good.
Well, yeah, that's way more than I had anticipated, and so I was up all night, and I still have to go through and review it and double check I got the right clip with the right one because.
You imagine you don't match the story with the cat.
Oh my gosh!
Oh boy!
You have 100. Yeah, exactly, exactly, and it's so it's a little bit nerve-wracking.
So Rick Lewis might be the many people
Rick
have
E. Lewis.
Rick E. Lewis.
Oh, thank you.
Many people have allergies to cats, but you're the first person I think I know of that got an allergic reaction from editing cat videos.
Yeah. You know what? That's what I felt. I'm starting to think that when I'm working on it, it's like, wow, I'm watching this so much. My body is saying, just like the cat will be sitting there looking at a TV set and start scratching at the squirrel on the TV. Yeah, there it is. I'm just starting to get a physical reaction to watching 100 cats on the screen.
I just want to mention this, and I know Lance is probably he's gonna call me out for this because there's a chance I might offend somebody with this statement. But I don't dislike cats, and I'm not allergic to them. But I'm a dog person. I'm not a cat person. Okay, so whatever. But I will say my buddy had a couple of cats, he and his girlfriend, and I want to say it was a situation like this Sunday where the Bills play in London early. So I want to say a couple of years ago the Giants were in London playing early, and we used to watch football games together all the time on Sunday, so I went over to his house. The only reason I mention this is because I remember specifically I had brought a bunch of sausage burritos from McDonald's. I knew it was early in the morning, and I was going there to watch football. I can't imagine why else I would have a bunch of sausage burritos. Anyway, I bring the bag over, and one of their cats, I used to call it the cat dog. I mean, this thing was built. This thing was a big cat.
Yeah.
So this cat jumped up on, went in, we were watching the game. I'm like, I got some burritos in there, whatever. We're sitting down watching the game. The cat jumped up on the table, somehow knocked the bag over, batted out one of the sausage burritos, and was able to open the wrapper. And we walked into the kitchen, and there was a sausage burrito just sprawled out all over the kitchen floor, and the cat was licking the eggs and the sausage.
Dogs are very smart animals, but cats are too. So our one cat, Jameson, Jamo for short, we put a bell on the door for the dog when it wants to go out, and the dog will nudge the bell when it wants to go out. We had to take the bell off the door because at 6 o'clock in the morning, the cat wants to be fed. So he learned that if you ring the bell, the owner will come. So he's over there, ding, ding, ding. He wants to be fed. I'm like, there goes the bell. We're taking it off.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Well, that's the kind of thing that is captured in a lot of these cat videos where you'll see these cats doing things like that, where you just go, wow, that's pretty funny. Like this one cat wanted to get, I was looking at this one video, the cat wanted to get out of the house. So he climbs up on the door, hits the doorknob, so it's one of those screen
like the storm
doors.
door, yeah.
Yeah, and he hits it, opens the door, and leaves.
Self-trained.
I said, wow. That's pretty funny. So there's a lot of things like that.
So how many showings of the movie is there going to be?
Just one. It's just Saturday, 1:30. It opens up where they have a lot of tables and booths. I guess people can adopt kittens and cats there and make donations, and we are collecting food and supplies for some of the cats, because the thing I never even thought of until I read many of these notes. Most of the cats come from shelters and they're not like dogs where you go to get a dog and a dog. They're basically from shelters they come from. So a lot of them were rescued, and these groups, these pretty much nonprofits, need support,
food
and
and
so
stuff,
they need food and stuff. So we'll be collecting some of those things too.
And it's an easier ask because I'll tell you, from buying food for a dog and buying food for a cat, there's quite a price difference in favor of the cat food.
Really?
I'll tell you.
Which ones cost more?
Yeah, the dog. Yeah, definitely. You can get a huge bag for a dog food is like $85, and where you can get a big bag of cat food for like $20.
Well, wait. I watch TV and I see these. Look, it's Kitty Gourmet, and they have a little thing. Open it up. It's got.
They're not getting that tasty treat or whatever it is.
I mean, I don't know, gourmet cat food. I would expect. I think it's kind of expensive.
Yeah, well,
that's why it's gourmet.
Yeah,
it costs
gourmet.
more.
It's a gourmet.
So again, it's 1:30 on Saturday, Rome Capitol.
Right. The videos and the movie starts at 2:30. So from 1:30 till 2:30, they have cats and activities going on in the lobby and the concession stand area.
Nice. And is it the Rome Humane Society?
Well,
benefits?
Actually, the Rome Humane Society is not there. They're actually going to be in a portion of the local Cat Videos film. It'll be Purrs and Whiskers is one of the organizations that's here, and there's several satellite organizations that work with them that'll also be there. Names that I will only screw up and have even more people mad at me, but there are several other, there's about 5 or 6 tables of people that'll be there.
All right. And people can adopt or make a decision to foster one of these animals?
Yes.
Eight. You know,
yeah. You know, and I like to be a little bit vague about these these details. They've been given to me, but since I'm not really one of the people that does it, that's not what I meant. I meant you should have known that. I don't know. I'm just
come to the event at 1:30.
Come to the
and
event,
find out.
and you know what to expect.
Yeah, and if you're a cat person, you'll certainly want to go. Look, again, I said I'm not a cat person. Again, I don't dislike them, but I'm more of a dog person, certainly. But, I mean, I sometimes will see some of these videos. I'll be scrolling online, and some of it's really
get
funny.
a lot of views.
And they're
They
very,
get a lot of views.
many are very intelligent.
Some are very funny. Some of the things that I've seen, there was these photos. There's one woman had sent a picture of a cat that was dressed up in like the Harry Potter suit with glasses.
Yes. Yes, I've seen this before, too.
Yeah, that's funny.
I said, it's just like, I even sent her a note, and I go, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, and is there a cost?
To get in the movie, it's $7 to get in, just like a regular movie price for getting into the theater to see a film. So
awesome.
No increase, just accepting the fun and excitement of being in a building full of people who love cats.
And you've been working on these videos. Some of these will be local. More information, I would assume, at the Rome Capital website, which
is Rome Capital with an O, capital.com.
Rome Capital with an O. .com.
Yes.
Rick, thank you so much. It's always good to catch up with you.
And I do need the coffee. That wasn't a gag.
Okay.
Cool. He needs help. He needs coffee. He's got to drive back to Rome. So.
Yeah.
We'll get you some more. We'll take a quick time out and come back with more. It is First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX 950 AM 106.9 FM.
Who doesn't love a great deal? We all do. And that's why Bremer's Wine and Liquor has carefully selected 8 very special wines and priced them under $8. Sure, we already offer hundreds of wines for less than $8, but these 8 wines are truly remarkable, handpicked by our experts. You'll be amazed by the quality you're getting for such a low price, including award winners like Wine Spectator Best Values and wines rated 90 points or higher by Wine Enthusiast. Reds, whites, rosés, whatever you're into, you'll find it. And we're constantly updating our 8 Under 8 selection to help you discover more new wines for less money. All of our 8 Under 8 are wines you'll love and want to share with friends. They're all hand-selected, deeply discounted, and they drink like you paid a lot more. Hey, you've got good taste, and so do we, for under $8. Adventure into great new wines with our 8 wines under $8 at Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
If you trade stocks, then you know avoiding pitfalls is the biggest challenge for both new and experienced investors. Vantage Point's dual-patented artificial intelligence provides a powerful solution to this problem by offering predictive accuracy, emotional neutrality, and diverse market forecasts for today's active traders. Vantage Point's AI analyzes billions of data points in seconds, so you get highly accurate predicted market conditions for the next trading day. Take the emotion out of your trading. Text the word money to 813-813. Navigate the financial markets with confidence using AI. Text MONEY to 813-813 right now to learn more for free. Text money to 813-813 to experience the benefits of AI in your trading. Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Past results do not guarantee future performance. By texting, you agree to the terms available at VantagePointSoftware.com and consent to receive calls and texts using automated technology about offers or info by or on behalf of Vantage Point. Your consent is not a condition to purchase and can be revoked at any time. Message and data rates may apply. Text the word money to 813-813.
Hi, folks. This is Congressman Brandon Williams. As your representative in Congress, if you need help with the IRS, the VA, or Social Security, I want you to give my office a call. I can help cut through any red tape and make sure you're being treated fairly. To receive assistance with any federal agency, please call my Syracuse District office at 315-233-4333. 315-233-4333. Or visit brandonwilliams.house.gov. brandonwilliams.house.gov. It's an honor to represent you. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Life happens, and at Mohawk Valley FCU, we are here to help you through life's ups and downs. It's not always easy. Life isn't perfect. That's why Mohawk Valley FCU goes above and beyond for their members with higher interest accounts, superior service, easy loan approvals, and so much more. With locations on River Road in Marcy, in the State Office Building in Utica, and with mobile banking, you'll receive the best service no matter where you are. Mohawk Valley FCU now welcomes all Town of New Hartford employees. Member-focused, member-driven. Visit MohawkValleyFCU.org.
Stop into Mattress Express in Oneida in the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theater. Simply complete a comfort test and get a $25 prepaid Visa card. Names like the Number Bed, Purple, Puffy, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and more. Hurry, this is a limited time offer.
Get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with SeizeTheDeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to 72 Tavern this Thursday starting at 8 a.m. Get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal half-off Thursdays. 72 Tavern is the home of $10 lunch. Now open, attached to the Adirondack Bank Center. Get your half-off Thursday gift certificate this Thursday from 72 Tavern. Hurry, they sell out fast at SeizeTheDeal.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, 315-736-0186 if you want to chime in. I feel like I'm forgetting to do something here today. I don't know what. We did 2 free money questions last hour to make up for
yesterday.
Smitty, go ahead.
Did you do the code?
I did the code at 8. I actually remembered at the top of the hour. I don't know what else I'm forgetting. I don't know.
You Lance, don't remember what you're forgetting? That's a weird thing.
Yeah. All right, so again from Lance and Lee, you're not going to offend me if me pointing out how stupid your co-host's statements are for considering that they're both salesmen, then I guess you don't understand that there's a time and a place for political statements. I'm sure there isn't an Izzo sign on the real estate office. Well, he's right. There isn't an Izzo sign on the real estate office. But
and there's again, not on my lawn.
Why wouldn't this be the time and the place?
Yeah, this is what we do.
The time and the place.
And to be honest with you, I don't know that I've come out and endorsed.
You didn't. I was going to ask you, are you endorsing somebody?
I have no skin in that game.
You don't even live in Rome.
I live in Utica, right? So I'm just simply stating from a perspective of, has Izzo's administration done some positive things in my eyes from a standpoint of all the business and growth and property values? Maybe she doesn't have anything to do with that. I don't know. But I'm just pointing out that there is a correlation between, the progress that she's made in her administration and property values and the progress of Rome. I'm not going to come out and endorse her. I don't know Mr. Lanigan. I'm sure he's a nice guy. And if he's elected, hopefully he'll do a good job and continue to carry the banner that Izzo has done. I'm just, again, that's my thought.
Some guy in the 540, isn't it hard now to sell homes with mortgage rates so high at the current moment?
It is. I mean, it's definitely, I will say
more
this.
Difficult?
It's a seller's market still. In the sense that the inventory is still fairly low. Interest rates continue to climb. But what I tell people is it's still better to own your own home because rents are going up just as much as the prices of homes. And if you think about it, if you are a purchaser and you buy a house now, even at an interest rate of, I think they're in the low 7s now, unfortunately, by the end of the year or early next year, could go up to 8 with inflation being as high as it is. Eventually, you can refinance. And the benefit of that is you buy your house now for a particular price at a higher interest rate. You can refinance at a lower interest rate. And the trend seems to be as interest rates go down, prices of homes will go up. I always say to my clients, listen, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't predict the future. I can only kind of base my, professional opinion and guidance on what the current market is doing. but it's still very strong. And the Mohawk Valley, Central New York, has remained pretty strong throughout the ebbs and flows of the national picture. So it's always a good time to buy, as opposed if you're renting right now, and you can do it. Make the effort to purchase a home, because you're going to be putting money in your own pocket essentially, as opposed to somebody else's. Because rents are through the roof. I won't say specifically who, but I have a client. I got him over $2,000 a month for a house in Utica, 3-bedroom, 1-bath. So it's it's definitely an advantageous time to start looking for a home.
Smitty? No, okay.
And you can always call me.
I thought Smitty was going to start endorsing political candidates. No, you're good right now. You're good on that.
I can't.
And frankly, I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody really cares who I endorse. To be honest,
you didn't though. No. Anyway, whatever. So, okay. So we're going to move on to something else here. Thanks to Halloween, October is a huge candy month. Of course, almost everyone's going to be buying candy over the next few weeks. Not everyone buys the same lot of candy to hand out to trick-or-treaters. CandyStore.com reviewed candy purchases over the past 16 years and put together a ranking of the top 3 candies in every state. Of course, people buy candy for a lot of reasons throughout the year, so they focused on the months leading up to Halloween.
These lists always confuse me sometimes, because it's something that's totally out there that you would never expect. But let's hear it.
New York is not on any... Oh, wait. No, there is one. Okay, there is one. All right. So
these are the top 3 in New York State?
No. It's the top 10, and it breaks down several states where it was ranked as number 1.
Okay.
So number 1 on the list is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups,
obviously.
Which, by the way, my son likes them, so I bought some the other day. Have you seen how small they've gotten?
Oh, yeah.
When they talk about, what is it, shrinkflation, where you pay the same amount. The price doesn't go up, but you say that you pay the same amount for less?
For less, yeah.
I mean, they're tiny now.
You notice that with a lot of things, like the boxes of cereal, right? So the family size of a box of cereal is what I remember to be the regular size. The family size box, you used to have a second person help you carry the box out to the car. Now it's like, very small.
All right, here's the top 10 overall. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups came in number 1 in Florida, Iowa, Kentucky, New Hampshire, and Wyoming. M&M's number 1 in California, Kansas, North Carolina, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, and D.C. Hot tamales were number 1 in Minnesota, New Mexico, and North Dakota. Really? It's an odd bunch.
Yeah.
Skittles, number 1 in Alabama, Oklahoma, and South Carolina. That's interesting, all 3 southern states.
Skittles are good.
Sour Patch Kids, number 1 in Delaware, Illinois, Maine, Nebraska, Texas, and New York.
Maybe that's why Biden looks the way he does. He's from Delaware. He's got that sour face, eating too many Sour Patch Kids.
No, that's the what do they call that?
The Botox. Yeah.
Botox.
I love. What was it? It was at the Republican debate the other night, the primary debate, where somebody likened Joe Biden to a hollowed-out corn husk.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but the Sour Patch Kid face, I think, is appropriate. Starburst, number 1 in Indiana, Michigan, and South Dakota. Hershey Kisses, number 1 in Arizona and Maryland. Candy Corn is number 1 in only one state.
Yeah.
Utah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hershey Mini Bars, number 1 in Hawaii, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. And Snickers, which is like my personal favorite.
Yeah, you like Snickers?
Love them. Only number 1 in the state of Idaho. Smitty, your favorite candy?
My favorite candy?
Yeah.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Yeah, that's a good one.
For me, it's, people find it strange, but I love the Payday, which is just, it's like a bar of caramel with peanuts on it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I just want to be clear. Are you endorsing Payday, or are you just saying the makers of Payday have done some good things?
Yes, exactly. I don't want to seclude myself from being any Reese's Peanut Butter Cup clients.
Remember that you couldn't go anywhere a couple years back without flashing your COVID ID card, your COVID vaccine card?
Yeah, which they did away with the app. You used to have it on an app, and then it went out of the Apple Store.
The end of an era. The CDC has announced they've stopped printing them. The vaccines are not being distributed by the federal government anymore, and we're well past the point of bars, restaurants needing for you to show that you've had your vaccine in order to get in. So they decided there's no reason to print new cards anymore. Since late 2020, they sent out around 1 billion of those cards to doctors, pharmacies, and clinics all around the country. They can still be used as a proof of vaccination, so they suggest hanging onto your card and keeping it with your other medical records. or just hanging on to it for fun as a memento to show your grandkids that you survived the apocalypse.
Yeah, that's not funny.
If you lost your COVID ID card, your vaccine ID card, or if you burned it in some kind of a protest or ripped it up and threw it out, the place that you got vaccinated likely has a record of it. A lot of states also have digital records that you can access online. Now, I have the digital one, or had the digital one through New York State.
Yeah.
Because I got my vaccine at SUNY IT, and I'm sure SUNY IT doesn't have a record of me being
Poly.
there.
Let's get with the times.
Sorry. Smitty, you wanted to add? You're shaking your head in there. Is that where you went also?
Yeah, that's where I went.
This does not mean that the CDC wants you to skip your booster shot, by the way. They say everyone should get it for the holidays, especially older adults and people with compromised immune systems.
Yeah, I mean, it's I've had it recently, and it's
COVID?
making the rounds again. So
yeah,
just
how
be
was
careful.
it? How were you?
I had one day. Hannah, my girlfriend, had it a little bit worse than I did, but yeah, I had like one day of just being knocked out and fever and all that.
So I tested twice, and again, because I was out Friday and I was in rough shape, man. But I still have this lingering. Well, I mean, you can hear it in my voice. I'm kind of congested up top, and my nose has been runny and stuff like that. So.
A lot of it's change of season, too. There's other things.
I think so. Well, and the other thing is when I have a kid, I mean, he brings me home everything.
Oh,
He
yeah.
brings me home everything. Oh, you know what I was going to tell you? And I want to apologize because our audience has heard this story before. I told it last week, but I just love it. Oh, he's just the apple of my eye. So I forget where we were going, but I think we're on Route 12, and we're driving, and I see the horse and buggy, the Amish horse and
yes.
the Amish. I can say it. I can say it. Amish horse and buggy, and Carter's like, "Dad, look out!" And I'm like, "I see him." He's like, "What is that?" "It's a horse and a cart." And I said, "Oh, it's called a horse and buggy." I said, and I believe those are Amish people. And he's like, "Well, what's that?" So I'm trying to explain to him that they don't use electricity, I believe. I'm not a historian on this.
Yeah, but then there's also the Mennonites who they have limited use. So I saw.
I don't know.
Because up where my girlfriend's parents live, we go up there for dinner a lot, and we got to make sure that the dog.
Is this your story or mine?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were done. I thought you were done.
Yeah, that was the funny thing. Carter said, "Look out," and that was it.
Oh, okay.
No, so I'm trying to explain to him, to the best of my ability, whether it's the Amish or the Mennonites. They live off the land, and they do a lot of work with their hands.
No
and
technology.
They'll do roofs and all this other stuff. But they're not big on technology, and I didn't specifically say they use old fashioned horse and buggy to get around. And I was talking about, we were at a station event, and they came and they were selling all these baked goods. They do the pies and all this stuff, right?
Delicious.
And I said they're really good. And he goes, I said, as a matter of fact, they sold out. They sold everything. And he goes, "I bet you they're saving up to get a car."
That's a good one.
Oh, he's just the greatest. Anyway, your story.
Well, no, because sometimes, they're very active. My girlfriend's parents live up in the Deerfield area, and they're always going down their road, pretty frequently. So we let the dog out because they got a lot of land. Almost one time we had the dog almost chase the horse and buggy, which would have probably been a disaster.
Oh,
so we always got to be careful about that. But I was going down the road one day, and I saw a Mennonite on a garden tractor, like a John Deere tractor. And I'm like, I thought they weren't supposed to use that stuff. So I'm very confused about what's, and some of them you'll see will have vehicles. And so I think there's a big difference between Amish and Mennonite. If somebody could call in and help us differentiate that.
I'm not despising the Amish, but I don't miss them at all. Because where we used to live, they were up the road from us.
Oh, boy, Smitty. We're going to get some hate mail over this one.
8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning when I'm trying to sleep, when I didn't have to work on when I didn't work on Sundays, I have the window open. You hear them go up and down for
click clack, click clack, click clack.
Church service. But they're the nicest people. My sister and my brother-in-law have a whole clan of Amish that live right next to their farm.
Hard workers too.
Yeah, matter of fact, the guy down the road from me just had I don't know if it was Amish or Mennonite, but they were putting a new one of those metal roofs on his house.
Beautiful work.
Yeah.
They did the roof at my grandpa's before he passed away and before we moved out, and they do beautiful work on.
Yeah, woodworking too.
Yeah. So is that an endorsement, Smitty? I just want to know. Are you just saying they've done some good things? Yeah. Okay. All right. Just double checking. And then one more here for you before we get to our man John Decker, the only member of the White House press corps who is an attorney. And he's been a member of that press corps for a long time. So from Gray TV, we'll be joined for the latest on what's going on in Congress right now by
the chaos.
John Decker will join us. Amazon already delivers everything that you want to your front door. And if you need to return it, you just drop it off at there's local places where you can return stuff at Amazon. I know one of them is Kohl's.
Yeah,
Kohl's in New Hartford. But now you don't even have to return it yourself. For $5, Uber will do it for you. Uber is adding a new feature that tells you that you can book a driver to come pick up any package that you need to return. They'll drop it off at FedEx, UPS, or your local post office for a flat fee of $5. They just won't pick up anything that costs more than $100. Also, it has to weigh less than 30 pounds.
Making us lazier and lazier, these services.
I'm just sharing the info as it comes in. WIBX News Time is 8:49. We'll be joined by John Decker in just a minute. Stay tuned. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. Income may be subject to state, local, or alternative minimum tax. Did you know that municipal bonds are a way for investors to support civil projects while earning federally tax-free income? The Erie Canal, which led to the expansion of the United States into the Midwest in the 1800s, was financed with municipal bonds. Are you looking to bridge the gap between the income of your working years and the income needed in retirement? Municipal bonds might provide the solution you're looking for. Henyon & Walsh is a leading specialist in tax-free municipal bonds and has provided investors with quality service and personal attention since 1990. Call now to receive their informative bond guide absolutely free. Dial 1-800-761-9761 to learn how to earn retirement income while keeping your taxes at bay. Just dial 1-800-761-9761 for a copy of their informative bond guide for free. No cost, no obligation. 1-800-761-9761. Henyon & Walsh Inc., member of FINRA and SIPC.
At Consumer Cellular, you get the same exact coverage as the largest carriers, but for up to half the cost. Same thing, up to half the cost. Up to half the cost for the same thing. 50% the money for 100% the same thing. I hope I'm making myself clear. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Half the cost savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single-line 5GB data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single-line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
For over a decade, SimpliSafe has revolutionized home security, and our latest advancement is here, 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from SimpliSafe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
At Mike Carl's, we've cleaned out our warehouses to make room for new arrivals. You save big. 50% off high-end mattresses, plus same-day delivery. Mike Carl's in the backside of the New Hartford Shopping Center.
Attention business owners, this is John Souza, CEO of ERTC.com. The Employee Retention Tax Credit Program provides up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. If you're confused about the program, stop right now before it's too late. Don't fall for false promises and risk your business. All ERTC companies are not the same. The bottom line, there's no such thing as guaranteed eligibility, and being innovative with tax filings can lead to an audit. At ERTC.com, we won't won't mislead you to attest to your own eligibility. At ERTC.com, everything is done in-house by expert CPAs, and there's no cost to get started. With the ERTC.com Fast Track Refund Program, you may qualify to get your refund in as soon as 48 hours. Get started today at ERTC.com.
Get your free refund information now. 800-200-3009. 800-200-3009. That's 800-200-3009.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
We are back here, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. So something we didn't get to today, and Joe was all fired up. I guess it's a good thing I didn't mention this earlier because he would have probably
gone through the roof,
launched into outer space.
Lost some vehicle customers, you mean?
We'll ask John Decker about this coming up here in just 1 second. But I heard this morning coming in that President Joe Biden is looking to, we were talking about this during the break.
Yeah, we had a listener, actually, and we'll bring in John for this question. A listener said it would be good to hear what John Decker thinks about how Biden has reenacted many of Trump's ideas he criticized before. Stay in Mexico, now the border wall. Remember when Biden said not a foot of border wall will be constructed during my presidency?
Good morning to John Decker, a White House correspondent. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning to both of you. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, it's pretty remarkable, but that's what politics will force you to do, is to change your position sometimes. To put your finger, up in the air and see which way the wind is blowing. And, and quite frankly, we see a lot of attention right now on issues concerning our border with Mexico. And I think that's one of the reasons why the administration is making the decision that it is making. That will certainly upset those on the far left of the Democratic Party. But look, I think political reality is such that the president really needs to respond to these large numbers of migrants that are coming to the U.S.-Mexico border every day.
Well, and John, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, he's getting a lot of pushback from, usual allies in his own party. Mayor Eric Adams of New York, Pritzker, the governor of Illinois. A lot of people pushing back now on this.
Well, that's right. He is, because they recognize this is perhaps one of those weak points as they head towards the 2024 re-election cycle. And I think they need to get in front of it before we get to 2024. So, now's the time to do those things. When you get to this time next year and you make these policy changes, it's pretty apparent, and that doesn't really impact anything as it relates to voters and the way they perceive you. So if you're going to make some sort of policy change that goes against what your policy had originally been, I think, this is a good time to do that, more than a year and 2 months before the next presidential election.
John, I would expect, just like they did under the Trump administration, Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters will be out holding press conferences saying that walls are racist and anybody who's for a wall is racist. Yeah. You expect that later today?
I do not. I do not expect to see that. I think the people that you talk about either won't say anything or they'll come around and saying, well, reality is such that sometimes you need to change your position, and that's a mark of someone who's a leader, that kind of a thing. That's what happens when politicians change their minds on issues in which they've established one point of view, and then all of a sudden reality is such that they have to change their point of view on that subject.
Reality is such right now that we don't have a Speaker of the House. What's the latest on this situation?
Well, we have two candidates, and I think that's all we're going to have on the Republican side who want to be the next Speaker. Jim Jordan, Republican from Ohio. Steve Scalise, he's the number 2 House Republican. He's from a district in Louisiana. And look, I think that they both make good arguments, but the unknown is who can get to 218. Remember, it took 15 rounds of voting for Kevin McCarthy to get to 218 votes. Back in January, his speakership only lasted 9 months or so. And we'll see, what kind of promises these individuals, Scalise and Jim Jordan, make to those who will be voting in the Republican ranks next Tuesday. And then the vote for Speaker will be likely next Wednesday on the House floor. And I'll be there, as they count the votes for that. But it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays itself out.
John, one more, and we're almost out of time. Have you heard or seen anything in relation to the Biden inquiry that ties President Biden to the deals that Hunter Biden has made?
No, but I'm not the only one. I mean, even James Comer, who's chairman of the House Oversight Committee, said, there's no smoking gun just yet, but that's the whole point of the inquiry. And he's right about that. The inquiry's just begun. If you're patient, we'll see what happens as it relates to the subpoenas for bank records and business records, tax records. That is where you may find, that smoking gun, so to speak, tying the business dealings of Hunter Biden to his father, Joe Biden. But so far, no, there's nothing that's been established. And even the witnesses that Republicans put on that first day of that impeachment inquiry also said the same thing.
And is this paused now because of the situation with the Speaker?
Everything's paused, essentially, because you can't do any business in the House of Representatives without a leader. So it's a short pause, hopefully. We're looking about next Tuesday or Wednesday. But, yeah, it's on pause right now.
Democrat of the Year award goes to Matt Gaetz. Good job, buddy. Way to go. John Decker, we would love to hear from you as always. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
John Decker reporting live from Washington, of course, part of the White House press corps. We're out of time. Have a great day.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square Media Station.
Jim Jordan for House Speaker. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I do think we have to have someone who can bring our team together.
The Republican congressman just told Fox as Speaker he would
go do the things we told the American people we would do for them.
And Jordan says he supports legislation to end government shutdown drama for good.
That bill says if we get to the end of the